could be gray goods, so you want to be careful. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Satellite of Love. Say you're just in time to see old Crow here log on to the information superhighway. I want you to tell us about your system there, Crow.
Oh, it's just a basic multimedia package. Nothing special. 90 megahertz Pentium with 32 megs of RAM and a quadruple speed NEC CD-ROM. Sound Blaster 16 multi-CD sound card through that in, and a Courier V3428K baud modem.
You think that'll make you happy, huh?
Yes.
Down at the heart on your boob, and it gets smaller as you lose
the
your
tattoo or something like
that. Never heard of this game.
And it also has really fucked up physics on the arm.
Can
so
we
like,
wait until we're... Oh my god.
Time to get moving.
Is that working?
Yeah.
Alright, TalkRadar 110. Man, that doesn't sound great.
Oh yeah, here it is.
110. What is, Michael?
The boob with the heart on it.
Ah, the boob with the heart on out. Excuse me. We're jumping ahead of track. I'm Christopher Antista.
I'm Michael Raparez.
Back!
I'm Brett Elston.
Also back. Wait. What do we have? Oops, sorry.
This is Michael Grimm.
Wow!
First cast in a year and a half, I believe.
He
Long
was
time.
on 100, but 33. I remember it because once a day when I Google my name, one of the first entries is a Capcom Unity post where Seth's like, careful, this is dirty. But he wrote my name.
Oh, right.
His past comes back to haunt him, and it was that stupid rap song.
Oh,
that
yeah.
we did. Fuck, what if I
The
still have
the
that?
Street Fighter rap, which was remarkably decent.
Not my part.
Hey, that's also ahead of its time. 'Cause, I mean, you look at that Street Fighter rap song, they actually
played at
Evo.
Evo this week. And,
Oh, did that happen?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
We're
yes.
talking about Evo.
Yes, not to jump.
Later in the cast, I know we're announcing the winners of the Persona 3 contest.
I never said that. I never said that.
Okay.
That's fine.
Probably some game deals. We got phone calls.
Yes, all that stuff. Why can't I find...
Fierce menu navigation.
Oh, wait. See, because I never released it, so somebody in the forums actually went and, like, pieced it together. Because, we broke it up with us talking about, like, every verse in rhyme.
I thought you did finally post the full version.
No, I've never posted I never will post the full version. It's embarrassing, and I could get in trouble.
Whatever, dude.
I mean, I don't own it. The guy...
It's kind of badass.
That's me ruining the song. This is too meta for everybody.
Yeah. Play it in the break.
No.
Damn.
Well, wait till Evo then.
Evo just had, what's that, a year? 355 days? Oh, listen to that. Let me get it.
On the left with the
Face you now as my brother, my friend. My first name is Kenny,
but I go by Ken. Don't call me Kenny, or I will get annoyed.
Anyone who visits me will be destroyed. I'm gonna bring the pain on the spot, playing tap, don't throw champagne. I'm a yacht named Capcom. Got shins that win and pythons for ammunition. Air combos, they're going championship edition.
It's alarmingly good.
It's pretty great.
An old rap song I made with my friend Garrett, who is the type of person who would sue me. So, old friend Garrett. We do have a top 7 that's not related to Street Fighter or rapping, right?
Maybe rapping.
Rap
We don't know about rapping yet till we get to it.
Yeah.
Ouch. Too soon.
What's the top 7 this week?
Well, this week's top 7 article,
which we do every week.
is the top 7 coolest video game islands.
Oh.
And I'm glad they did this because when we had our features meeting a few weeks ago, I was really trying to find a way to do best beaches and couldn't think of a good way to do it. And I was like, you know what? Let's just leave that Monday open, and the UK can they'll put something in there, and hopefully it'll be summer themed because we hadn't done a summer themed podcast yet.
Isn't it winter there or something? How
That's Australia.
That's Australia.
Wait, they're not the same. Their
You'd
flags.
be surprised.
Their flags are confusing.
It's the prison colony of the UK.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I ruined your flow.
Yeah, you did.
Summertime.
Well, because I did in December, I did the top 7 winter wonderlands, which was a basic saying snow levels.
Fall will never get a game.
Fall will never get a game.
Top 7.
Best falls.
Mm-hmm.
Ba-doom. You didn't have a fall sound effect.
I have one.
All 7 are,
There you go.
are from Animal Crossing games.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I got to use Animal Crossing to great effect. You will hear it in the break.
Oh, yes.
Oh!
But, yeah, this would be Islands, which is not entirely summer themed, but has that tropical feeling that most of us, unless you live in the Bay Area, know what summer feels like.
Or seasons, for that matter.
Seasons in general. We have a permanent 70 degrees, clear sky.
Do we? Well, where we work, and then like 10 minutes away from here.
Oh, yeah. It's like
it's 50 degrees all year round. It never fucking changes. It's depressing.
Yeah. But number 7 on the coolest islands is Isla Nublar?
What's what?
Isla Nublar.
Isla Nublar of Jurassic Park.
Oh, let me do the music.
Erotic fan fiction.
Oh, the Jurassic Park erotic fan fiction site plays this music on a loop forever.
It's like the pterodactyls are in the room with us.
That music, even in shitty MIDI form, almost makes me tear up. I love that music so much. That is my favorite movie of all time. I saw it 13 times in the theater.
Yeah,
as a 12-year-old.
Man.
Loved it. Right at that age where I'm about to be like, nothing is magical anymore, I realized growing be a teenager is going to be a huge pain in the ass. Jurassic Park, man, made me realize, made me feel like things can still be I can still be amazed. I'm not jaded yet. I don't know. There's But the game in question. So we all know how Jurassic Park, pretty badass island.
It's not a specific game. It's just Jurassic Park.
Well, the game
Where is the island located in the?
Off the coast of Costa Rica.
Off the coast of Costa Rica.
Coast to coast.
But it's Hawaii.
It's Hawaii.
Just like every other island.
Yeah, it's the Lost Island as well.
I think Just Cause 2 was actually filmed in Hawaii.
Really? That's amazing. Is that the one with Sean Connery and Lord? Let's just move on.
Yeah. But Jurassic Park, the one he begins with, strangely enough, is Jurassic Park for Sega CD, which I thought I was, me and two of my friends, I thought were the only people who ever played that game. Jurassic Park it's one of the rare cases where it was a movie game. Mm-hmm. Every version of that game on every platform was different.
That was an accident?
Yes, I'm sure it was. The Genesis one was a side-scroller where you could play as Dr. Grant or a Velociraptor.
The best version, I might add.
No. See, this is where we differ because the Super Nintendo version...
You went down with the Ocean?
Ocean made the Super Nintendo one.
Ocean.
Which was an overhead, explore the island, really good music, and then when you get inside any of the buildings, it turned into a first-person shooter, which didn't handle that great. But
on Super Nintendo.
On Super Nintendo. Yeah, and then the handheld versions were all different. But the Sega CD game, Charlie would be proud, is a point-and-click adventure full of fancy multimedia like FMV, full-motion video. Get this, no people, but yeah, so he did some of the music. So you get to listen to this.
Because you brought in the Sega CD game?
Well, I have it here at work, oddly enough.
And you can just put the CD in your CD player
because
and
it's
play
all
the music.
Back in the day, all the music was just on the tracks. They didn't think anyone would rip the music off of it.
Who would use this?
Who would ever
Who
care?
could edit this into anything?
So all the
What tubes? You're fired.
How did you know about this site 13 years before it launched? But so you get a lot of cool imagery, like what some of it looked like shots from the set, maybe, and others was like crude renditions of the area made.
Oh, did you hear that one? Listen to that. There's hear that? That's the Mr. Burns crow that comes in every time they show the nuclear power plant.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's a public domain palooza.
Stock footage, public domain.
Oh, that does happen, right? Every time you see the nuclear power plant, it transfers to an outside shot. You hear a little crow go.
I don't know if it's every time, but
it's every time.
I definitely recognize it. Maybe I've been trained like Pavlov, a dog, and
it's like that Doom door opening sound effect.
Or the boss bit.
Oh, you thought I had that queued up, didn't you?
I was hoping. But no, that's not it. But yeah, the Sega CD one, I also gave Chris some... It's a point-and-click adventure, so you're just literally moving a cursor around and selecting shit. It's like Myst, but actually 2 years before Myst, strangely enough. That's a guy being... So, if you agitate the dinosaurs, they jump at you and kill you. Most of the game is a static screen. Nothing is happening. But occasionally you'll see a Triceratops or a... Yeah.
Hold on to your butts.
Access main program. Access main security grid. But yeah, all the shorter files on there are the sounds that it would go to a black screen and play this audio file of you being gored or eaten.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Does the dinosaur have a Bushido blade?
He's got a shiv.
A shiv.
One of them you can hear them crunching the bones. What's great is your character's not a girl.
Well, this is like one track, so they just space it out. Oh, wait, I bet there's another one.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot.
I think that's somebody biting into celery.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Foley guy just was, oh, really? Today is my day. 7 people will play this game.
Unlike the later FPS Trespasser, which we were discussing before the show started, which is the game in which you... What is it? You have a health meter on your boobs?
Yeah, you are a female, and your health meter is a heart tattoo on your boob, your cleavage, that you can look down with the mouse and see to check
what
your
the
health.
heart looks like?
Yes, because the smaller the heart gets, the closer you are to death.
Oh, shrinking tattoo. That would be the future.
Also, isn't that a great game dynamic to look down?
Yeah, look away from the dinosaurs.
Being attacked.
Amazing. It reminds me of jumping in Turok.
To see a little line drawing of a heart on a very well-rendered pair of tits.
Look, the best technology 93 had to offer.
It did. It's the best tit technology.
98.
Dr. Hammond was behind. that game is mostly narrated by Dr. Hammond.
That's true.
I meant to pull audio from it.
Richard Attenborough?
I don't think it's him, but his picture is in the game. I'd wanted to clone dinosaur for the benefit of man. What benefit? What benefit of mankind?
Entertainment benefit.
I see.
Spared no expense.
The same benefit the Hills has. Like, just something for me to gawk at.
Yeah.
You don't tamper with that. He should have stopped to think if he should.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
What would you call science? I call the rape of the natural world.
That's right. Life finds a way. Most people don't. Hold on to your butts?
Hold on to your butts.
No? Okay.
You didn't say the magic word.
I'm sorry about your financial problems, Dennis, but they are your problems. I could do the whole movie if you want.
I really thought you were addressing me at that moment.
No, the most mundane fucking lines from that movie. Number 6, top 7, good God, is Zack Island from Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball. I hope. Do you have the opening theme song to this song you can play underneath? Oh, great. Da 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 da. Oh, this game is silly. So Zach was from Dead or Alive, the Dennis Rodman looking dude, and he had an island, and then invited all the girls he was beating up earlier to come undress and hit their butts together.
Yeah. I don't have my fat button anymore. That's a sad thing.
Yeah.
It is a nice island he's got, though. It's a party island.
Yeah, I can't say much about this either.
I really can't either. I watched one of my friends, Creative Assassin, actually played the first Dead or Alive.
I'm sort of disgusted that this franchise still exists.
Yeah.
And that this is the form it takes.
The PSP version was apparently completely unfappable.
But it had it had a hands-free mode that was designed for you to lay it down and watch her swing back and forth on us.
Don't jerk to that, jerk to this.
You kids didn't hear the internet.
What's weird is, like, the first one, like, for all of its cheesecakey nonsense, was still, like, a reasonably fun game. Like, it was.
Yeah.
But then when they made 2, it was for 360. It was like, no, now you really are just making a crap game with a bunch of mini games, and just throwing tits around. And then they'll try to argue, no, these characters are like my daughters. The daughters you fondle and put things inside. God.
I have a really creepy relationship with my daughters.
Perfect.
Anything wrong? Well,
fuck that game and its stupid face.
I didn't say that. I never said that.
Number 5.
Consensus reached.
Number 5 is waiting on the internet to
Waiting
load.
on the internet.
Angel Island from Sonic 3. Sure.
Anybody play this game?
Sonic 3, of course.
No, I know Sonic 3 and I know Angel Island.
Is it the first level?
It's the first level that ends up being set on fire. So there's that.
It's where all the animals emigrate into the world that I don't know.
Angel Island?
Yeah.
It's the Angel.
Oh, Justin Towle, who wrote it, he's our UK editors, he said it's a vibrant, high-quality playground and a great introduction to the game. It is. And in a game of great music, it has maybe the worst music.
Oh, no.
But still not bad, but it's like... You get a brief glimpse of the sand as Supersonic flies across the beach, but then is hit by Knuckles and loses all of his Chaos Emeralds. Knuckles' theme plays, a little beatboxing noise, and then he leaves.
And it's notable, I guess, because that game was designed to have Knuckles in it, so there's a bunch of weird nooks and crannies that don't actually do anything unless you have a lock-on technology.
With Knuckles and Sonic and Knuckles a year later.
Okay, I get it. I get it.
Yeah,
Number 4.
It's a fine island, I'm sure. Number 4 is
like Fuckles.
Wow, it works.
Fuckles the eat dickna.
on fire. That's
Man, why did I know about this in 7th grade? God, the eat dickna.
I could have been so fucking popular.
Hey, girls, so you don't know who Knuckles is, and you haven't played Sonic since you were 10, but get this, Knuckles the eat dickna.
Yeah. No?
Let's make out.
All right,
Do you want to go to homecoming with me?
I'll do my filthy version of the Beauty and the Beast song. Touch my breast, put my pussy to the test.
Well, why don't you like these songs about your anatomy? Man, this bitch don't like nothing. Number 4 is Monkey Island.
Monkey Island.
That's an island.
Please, someone tell me about Monkey Island.
Michael, tell us about Monkey Island.
Monkey Island.
It's an island with monkeys. Next entry.
Is it always it? It may sound like a stupid question, but do they always come back to Monkey Island
in every game?
I haven't played all the games. I've only played a couple of them. If Charlie were here, he could answer that more definitively.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I know, in at least the ones I've played, they end up going back to Monkey Island.
Yeah, and the titles would have me believe Escape From.
Yeah.
Return To. So I'm assuming, but I was wondering if they all really took place on a Monkey Island, and it's just a beautiful setting. I love the giant tiki huts and I don't know all vibrant pirate tropical nonsense. I can't get enough of that shit, and it's really funny. The games are all really funny. Even though the remake for PSN and XBLA weren't scoring too well. Fucking too much with the art style.
The first one scored well, but for some reason, LeChuck's Revenge, the second one.
The first one, they just HD'd the graphics up, took a little bit of the pixelation out, and gave you the option to flip back and forth on the fly, and this one just kind of reanimated everything.
Yeah, that was my understanding.
That's lame.
There are also apparently 14 different Monkey Islands in the real world.
Yes. And one I saw is in Florida. Did I ever tell of my the Monkey Island the Monkey Island I encountered in Florida?
Is that the one in the middle of the river?
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Like they filmed a movie called Tarzan Has a Son. I'd say that because there's an exclamation point in the title of the movie. And back in those days, because my dad he did environmental work, so he had told me some of this. They filmed stuff all around the area, like Creature from the Black Lagoon that was filmed like an hour away from my house, and stuff like that. They filmed Tarzan movies in Florida. That's just so weird. And they brought, what are you going to do for a Tarzan movie? Well, we're going to bring the local wildlife into Florida. Movies wrapped. There's no ASPCA. Let's just leave them. That's probably cheaper. That's cheaper, right? That's cheaper, right? So you have this island of all these monkeys from the 1930s that have been fucking each other for years, and like it was just like I've seen it. I'm canoeing past the river, and it's just like, and they're screaming and like running next to me. They're angry, and the guide says, "Do not go anywhere near that." I think this Monkey Island is a friendly monkey island. That's sort of a tourist attraction. It's an island where they build relative houses to the sizes of the monkeys.
Oh, adorable
stuff. But that Monkey Island, fucking awesome. Right on the Ocklawaha River.
I didn't know there were monkeys in Florida, period.
Well, they weren't supposed to be there.
Yeah. They're building a raft to attack mainland Florida.
Which is 60 knots off the...
I love that. It's like if they left dinosaurs in Costa Rica filming Jurassic Park. Come on. The Ticas would say, right? Everybody impressed to know what they call Costa Ricans?
The Ticans? Number 3, Isle Delfino from Mario Sunshine.
I love this one. I don't care what anybody says. Mario Sunshine ain't that bad.
It's definitely not bad. I just, after Mario 64, you're unfairly expecting another that. And I got really kind of tired of the complete dependence on that water pack. It was like, no, that's fun to have as a power-up. But
it makes
designing
it kind of not feel like a Mario.
Yeah, designing the entire game around this hovering bullshit.
Mario is his own power. He's adaptable. He doesn't need something strapped to his back.
At most, he has Yoshi, which is just sort of an augmentation of his powers.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. Flood, I believe. Flood.
Yes.
Right, you probably remember what that stands for.
No.
Fucking little underdeveloped, dick-headed, dirt piece of shit.
Only 2D.
I almost got there. Flood POS. That's what I'm.
But I mean, as far as islands go, it's pretty.
It is one.
It's beautiful. I love the music.
It A is one. B is.
I pulled it the entire time you were telling your story last week about your summertime memory of a pool exploding.
God damn it!
You're hearing the island Delfino.
One of my friends texted me today and was like, "I'm so glad you told that story. So many memories came flooding back."
Oh!
It's like it was like. You were there. You saw how distraught I was. My pool was shattered into a billion fucking molecules of water.
You should have sat in the middle and sang the Summer Wind. More Simpsons references.
God,
I got that.
More. Damn those who say less.
Number 2.
I guess we're done with Isle Delfino.
Yep.
I don't know. Michael, you had nothing to say?
Nope.
All right.
Good.
I like ripping the tentacles off that giant boober, whatever the hell.
Oh,
Let me
yeah.
move back to number
The
3.
squid thing.
Okay, now we can... That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
God.
That's the only thing I really remember from that game.
Well, good. We need to save your voice for this entry,
Yes.
just cause Deuce, because I don't know anything about
Just
it.
Cause 2. It's all about Michael. I
This
guess.
is the best game ever.
It is delicious.
Is it delicious? I had great fun playing it, but I haven't actually gotten to play it in one sitting.
Oh, it's an incredibly fun. I mean, it's an island, but it's actually like a chain of islands. But it's fucking enormous, and there's every conceivable type of terrain somewhere, and you can just kind of go there. Hijack a jumbo jet. Fly somewhere, crash it.
I love the parachute because it's like this close to being a jetpack.
Yeah.
If you hit it at the right angle, you can float anywhere.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like if you learn how to use the parachute and the grappling hook effectively, you don't need any vehicles at all. You can just sort of coast across the landscape pretty quickly.
That game was really kind of astounding compared to I just figured that series is so done.
I was really surprised.
I think that deserves some sort of award for the biggest improvement between the first. It's like Assassin's Creed again. It's like the first game was okay, but the second game, holy shit, is so much better.
I'd say the differences are even more drastic than that particular example.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I mean, because multi-platform.
The only thing that
blah.
comes to my mind like that was Red Steel, how awful the first one was. And
Yeah,
Red Steel 2 was
yeah,
actually really cool.
Yeah.
But I mean,
different.
this one was just playing that demo, I was really impressed by the scope and size and everything. The jet, not the jetpack, the parachute, the enormous amount of vehicles. I don't know, and it really seemed like it didn't catch on. It seemed like it didn't sell.
No, I think it sold very well. I think in the UK it's killing.
That's the thing is I don't remember what the actual sales were, but I was like, it really seemed like a game that was really loved. Anyone who got it was like, no, this is a ton of fun. And then I just don't know if the wider audience caught it or not.
I remember seeing the UK dug it quite a bit, and I know its price was just reduced on Steam, which generally spurs sales, and word of mouth after that is always kind of awesome.
Plus, it was an IDOS game. Was it
Yes.
Ubi?
Yeah. The published by Square Enix, which was sort of surreal.
Yeah, no, that's
saying. Just wait till you see it under the Tomb Raider logo. It's fucking weird.
Oh god!
Wait till you see
no,
it,
the weirdest
Michael.
thing I saw at E3 the whole time was this giant Kane and Lynch 2 bright purple with a Square Enix logo floating above it. I'm like, what? Those two ugly, uninteresting assholes with a Square Enix logo above it. Neither one of them has a haircut that would cut me.
What the hell? If I landed on either of their heads, I'd probably be fine. Not even
They're wearing clothes that human beings can wear.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's just and
Where's the buckles?
going back to Just Cause 2, I mean, it is an incredibly addictive island just to coast around because there was always something to do, and by something to do, I mean something to blow up. It's just everywhere you look, there's like anything painted white and red is something that will explode when shot, and then you will be rewarded for exploding.
And you can grapple onto it and ride it into the air.
It's so fantastic.
There's so many like cheats and Easter eggs and little secret things in it too. It just sort of feels like sort of a return to like, here's a fun sandbox game, have fun. It's
yeah, exactly.
Like Crackdown should have been
a lovely playground.
Well, Crackdown was, but then Crackdown 2 was it again.
Yeah, it was lazy.
It was way lazy. According to Square, Just Cause 2 has sold 920,000 units, so I would say that's
good for them. And I think it'll go up.
I will say, like, if you approach it as like a story-based game, it's kind of crap because the missions are fairly short and boring.
It doesn't look like it's meant to be story-based. It's fuck around here now.
Like
We'll give you an objective.
There is a story. There are unique missions. It's not like Crackdown that way, but
it should have been.
Yeah, it's that part's kind of weak, but the rest of it, is just a game to fuck around and do whatever you feel like. Oh, I'm gonna go find the airship and then try to kill everyone on board and then like skydive off the top of it. It's like it's fun.
Woo. Yeah. It reminded me of like a more serious like Saints Row 2, which I really enjoyed. I thought Saints Row 2 was
Saints Row 2 was a fantastic game.
That's right. I made Borat and I ran around and I shot old ladies. I mean, what else do you want from a game?
Prostituted yourself in a bathroom. Fantastic game.
I
pimped out a cop car.
Yes.
Spent the whole day making Borat sound effects. I'm sorry, Michael.
That's okay.
Nice.
Very nice. I'm still planning on my how Mario is Borat article that just doesn't make any sense.
Maybe you can find a way which he's related to Toadstool.
Go for that.
It is my sister. Let's move into... I think we can go to number 1.
Let's do it.
Hold on. Special...
Ooh. I know what that means.
Number 1.
Yoshi's Island.
Yoshi's Island.
Man, that leads right into the title screen music, which I love to death.
Ain't it adorable? I got it here, bro. I got you covered.
Oh, man, it's so good. Yoshi's Island, such a brilliant game. Like, Justin sums it up very well. It's like, the game is a paradise, not just in terms of weather, but everything here is classically, brilliantly Nintendo, and it really is. Like,
I was trying
there's immense creativity that's just like, no. It doesn't just look timeless with the kind of crayon storybook look. It just plays, and like the game will never look or play bad. It will never age, and the bosses are super cool, and it had the FX chip in it. So like it does all this cool stuff that like right when it came out in '95, which was near the end of the Super Nintendo's life because N64 was a year away at that point.
It's technically Super Mario World 2.
It was only called that in the U.S. outside of
it.
Japan, even because it was never supposed to be. It was just supposed to be Yoshi's Island.
I don't allow it at all.
But I mean, I'm guessing they saw how much Yoshi Safari sold for Super Scope, and we're like, let's call it Mario World 2.
We don't need another Battle Clash on our hands.
Well, they did.
Good game.
They made 2.
I know. Okay.
They made 2 Battle Clash.
And I enjoyed both.
They're both great.
I know.
But Yoshi's Island.
All right, another tin star. How's that?
Oh, okay.
There it goes. Another Bazooka Blitzkrieg. X Zone. That is my picture message sound effect.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, on my phone. But yeah, it's very rarely an island, honestly. Only in the title screen when you see the rotating view of the island, do you really get the sense.
It's established that it's an island, and it's fucking gorgeous. Yeah. Like every single piece of it.
It's totally...
Trying to get an article out of that. Remember Nintendo's crafty pass? Like, they had that move, that which was like crayon drawn, Yoshi's Story, which is like fabric. Made it of fabric, and Epic Yarn.
It was very like a pop-up book kind of thing.
It's very pop-up book, but everything had like a fabric texture.
Yeah.
In Epic Yarn, I think there's one more. I can't remember what we were talking about, but
we were talking about how the next Star Fox should be origami.
Yes, the next Star Fox should be origami, which
that'd be pretty cool.
I could make because I said I wanted that ship sharp.
Oh yeah,
Ship
our wing looks best when it is dangerous.
I remember that Nintendo Power that came with the cardboard R-Wing?
Yes, I
That
do.
was the coolest thing ever.
That's when I. Yeah.
Oh, hi, Michael.
Back when everything was exciting.
Michael and I
yeah.
accidentally footseed. We
They
better go
have a
into,
foot baby.
we better go into break before this gets awkward.
I just think of it as you kicking my foot.
I didn't. That would not
You
explain.
didn't realize you were
Very
on a-
manly and heterosexual way.
That would not explain this hard on.
Chris assumed you were on a foot date.
We are on
Oh,
a
I
foot
see
date.
how it is.
More foot jokes coming soon.
More foot jokes. What do we have here? In the break, someone just sort of like, hey, can you make this? And like, let me try. And it's Mel Gibson breaking up with Pikachu, but it's wonderful to hear. I had only admired the way I censored his extremely naughty words.
Oh man, Mel Gibson is just a never-ending fountain of
he's wonderful.
of just amazing. You have to be acting or reading dialogue because no one can be this completely nuts. Where he's yelling, the new one where he's breathing like he's about to fucking die, and then when he starts yelling like, "You should blow me, blow me!" Like it's at the top of his lungs, like in the phone, and that lady's like, "What?"
One thing I hate when
was
people
tired.
talk about celebrity sightings is like, oh man, he was so cool, he's so down to earth, just like a normal dude, just like you and me. And this made me realize this is what it's for a fucking celebrity to have a fucking tantrum. Like he's being a baby.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The sound clip you'll even hear here is, I don't like it! I don't like it! I get to yell at you now. I don't like it. Lethal Weapon. See? That's how you make an impression work. I don't like it. Fucking tantrum. Just being a baby. Like, I don't like the way you dress. Where were you? Is your friend staying over? It does not call for that kind of yelling.
He also tends to repeat everything.
Yes. I do think he's a great man because this is one of the most entertaining things I've ever seen. The complete implosion of a A-list celebrity.
Oh god.
Thank you, Mel Gibson. You've never ceased to disappoint except for Lethal Weapon 3.
Yeah, we didn't need what's his name.
Not after Lethal Weapon 2, Diplomatic Immunity.
I would suggest if any other celebrities have dirty laundry they need to air, now would be the time because it's going to be totally overshadowed.
Oh yeah, they'll forget when the next Mel Gibson tape.
Be nice.
Tiger's like, I got 24 legitimate children, but here, pay attention.
This one they keep saying is not me that looks just like me.
Opportunistic LA gold diggers just got to start taping their phone calls from people they date. A little bit rude, boom, TMZ time. Okay, but going into the break, I want to play a little more music than I usually do because I found OC Remix posted this. I don't know, I loved it. It's a remix from Sonic 2, which made me think of when we were just talking about Sonic 3. It's from the Chemical Zone.
Chemical Plant Zone.
Chemical Plant Zone. It's a remix by Proto Raptor. It's just wonderful. Come back and we're going to tell you who won some contests and what's coming out this week. Hint, nothing.
from blank blank, and you're listening to TalkRadar.
Tell me the message or something, right? Because you're doing something, trying to breastfeed with fucking foreign bodies in you.
Pika pika.
Oh, it had nothing to do with what? The fact that you had foreign bodies in there?
Pika.
Correct. Okay, good. So you're not lying to me about fake tits.
Pika pika.
Yes, you just did. You said they weren't. You fucking lied to me.
Pika pika Pikachu.
They look ridiculous. Get rid of them, why don't you? Anyway, It is. They look stupid. I'm just telling you. It's just an appraisal. Keep them if you want. Look stupid. See if I give a fuck. You know, but they're too big and they look stupid. They look like some Vegas bitch. They look like a Vegas whore. And you go around sashaying around in your tight clothes and stuff. I won't stand for that anymore.
Pika pika.
Public, and it's a fucking embarrassment to me. You look like a fucking bitch on heat. And if you get by a packet, it'll be your fault. All right? Because you provoked it. You are provocatively dressed all the time with your fake boobs you feel you have to show off in tight outfits and tight pants and stuff. You see your from behind. And that green thing today was enough. That's provocative. Okay? I'm telling you. I'm just telling you the truth. I don't like it. I don't want that woman. I don't want you. I don't believe you anymore. I don't trust you. I don't love you. I don't want you. Okay?
Pikachu.
Stay in the fucking house. I'm not giving it to you, but I'll let you stay there. Okay? And I will take care of my child, but I don't want you anymore.
The iTunes reviews are in.
Twishart says, a wonderfully pungent gaming cluster shard.
Kyrian BC says,
Spawned from the heavens, absolute brilliance on so many levels.
Melzul says,
Pants-crappingly hilarious. And Game Dad says,
the constant belching and F-bombs make the podcast feel immature.
Get over here!
TalkRadar for the win.
welcome to segment 2. Hilarious.
God, I love that music so much.
What do we usually do here? Should I announce winners to Tyler's Persona contest?
Let's do that for the community segment.
Okay, all right.
Well, normally right here we'd go into what came out this week.
2 of the winners of the game start with a D.
Rules me out.
And whoever doesn't claim their prize, we've already talked about, goes to me, because I want to play Persona. You know there were games that came out this week?
Nope. They were garbage.
I told you, we were talking before, like, I'm fucking livid reading Alan Wake tanks.
Yeah.
Split Second Blur tanks. That 1 week where everything in the world came out against Red Dead Redemption and, like, right after Mario Galaxy. This week has nothing.
And Lost Planet 2 was bundled in there as well, which couldn't have been saved, I don't think. But I mean, the fact remains, like, they just loaded May up with stuff. And then now here we are in July, and once again, really? Alan Wake couldn't have come out this week against nothing and maybe had a better shot?
Like everything has a license or a colon attached to it. Our house, party. Our house, party.
In the middle of our street?
I like colon party.
Every day's a colon party.
Every day's a colon party.
I'm guessing that's for Wii?
Somebody made a Photoshop in the forums of Hellbutt. Was that a discussion from last week?
Hellbutt?
Oh, it was Hellboy that you typed out at Toys R Us.
Oh.
Hellbutt.
Run Like Hell and Butt Ugly Martians.
TalkRadar 110 page. Come see it there instead of just downloading on iTunes and not contributing any traffic to our site. Also out, The Bachelor, the game.
God.
Yeah.
That's still on air?
Uh-huh.
Every fucking summer.
You didn't know that? There's like some big fucking controversy in the news or something about a couple that met there?
One of them getting divorced.
I don't know.
And he's gay.
Yeah, he was fisting gay dudes.
I was actually shocked today to find that the oil hasn't been capped in the Gulf of Mexico. That's how behind the times.
It has been capped?
Has not.
Has not.
As of yesterday.
They just
I see.
cap it and
okay.
I thought they were trying to find out Oh, we're gonna see if this actually works. Maybe it will.
Yeah, it was like they did a thing and then they had to replace it or something. I don't know. All I did was get completely fucking terrified over the weekend about that news of the the methane gas. Roger Ebert tweeted this thing around, and I don't remember all the details because I read it and was just like my blood turned to ice the whole time I read it. It's like this thing of like the amount of shit that's leaking out of there at that pace. Like it's just an incomprehensible amount of oil that's full of methane. And something about this can cause a chain reaction. It's like a summer movie where it starts this buildup of methane underground, or like
the beginning of Volcano.
Or the last episode of Dinosaurs.
And it triggers this thing that has happened in history and it is known to have happened
several times apparently.
And it's like it's kind of a life-ending event.
The methane bubble.
It's like a methane bubble that bursts, and then when it does, it creates this huge shock wave, and it's an atmospheric disturbance, and it just ruins the ocean around it, so everything immediately dies. And this chain reaction across the landmass of a tsunami from the water that gets blown out when it does that. I don't know. I don't remember all the details.
Tsunami.
I even read about some not even a lake, like a pond in Cameroon that has a methane bubble that comes out underneath it, and they didn't know what it was forever because all of a sudden everything around that lake or pond will die. Like the animals, the villagers.
There's something
like killing lakes because they just exude a bubble and no one sees it happen.
Yeah. There's also
death.
Just like the stuff coming out of there that's just drifting through Louisiana, and it's like all these people are being exposed to all this awful shit that's allegedly in the air that will reduce them to cancerous. I don't know. A lot of it sounds like fear mongering, and a lot of it sounds. It's the kind of thing that's so horrific. It's so horrific. It's like it's so far that you're like, no, that actually sounds believable. Because it's so terrible.
Even the most...
like, no one would invent a complete, utter disaster scenario that there's no hope to recover from.
Even the most evil corporation would look at that scenario and be like, okay, let's just find some other way to do this.
Yeah.
No, and
I don't know. So that...
But for our conservative listeners, drill, baby, drill. I think this could be solved by drilling. I had a revelation. I'm a fucking annoying bleeding heart. I've been accused of that. What are human beings' purpose on this world? On this earth, man.
To
make video games art
for a while.
To make YouTube montages.
To make video games art. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well,
to make YouTube tribute
what is
videos.
oil? Oil is like the Earth's bile.
Yeah. That's the leftover.
What if we're here to drain? What if that's our job? What if that's as like? Think of us as the doozers in a larger Fraggle Rock. Our job is to get that.
Well,
oil
it's
out
causing
there.
so much problem where it is.
Yeah.
To lance all the Earth's boils.
Yes.
Basically.
What if that's our job? It's so fucking scary. Please do not take that John McCain if you run again.
It is look, the last Manifest Destiny we had was so correct. The new one about us taking all the oil is even better.
I'm talking about like a new mythology. I really hope the right wingers start taking that. Like it is our destiny. It is our job, our duty to the planet.
To leave this place a barren rock.
Yes. No, for the oil. Like, we have to get that oil or the planet will die.
Oh,
it will
I
die.
see.
It'll attack the heart.
Living in the Bay Area here, we are surrounded by fringe factions that have very interesting concepts on things. And my friend read a book recently about oil, where the idea that oil is a conscious thing, and it is intentionally affecting world policy and the course of human evolution.
I read that book.
Through its placement.
So it's like that relic from a bad movie that makes people evil?
No, I've read this book. It's called Phantoms by Dean Koontz. It is literally about a piece of oil that thinks it's the devil.
Definitely.
Wow, you're friends with Dean Koontz?
That's
impressive.
Yeah, I didn't want to.
Look, the movie was terrible. Affleck is the bomb in it, but the book is actually pretty decent. It's about the oil monster.
Dean Koontz.
On paperback, available in your local bookstore.
Remember
Dean Koontz, Godzilla vs. Hetero.
You'll hear it plenty of times in the Mel Gibson.
Godzilla versus
tapes.
Hetero.
He calls his wife a Koontz over and over again. I hope that wasn't a criticism of her writing, because that would really hurt someone's feelings.
That's better. My algebra teacher in freshman year, Mr. Koontz, and I've said this before. K-U-N-T-Z.
K-U-N-T-Z.
That is. There is only one way.
I bet you can't say that in Germany.
You can't. Look, every year, Mr. Kuntz. Koontz.
Koontz. It's Koontz.
Like, there's no way it's Kuntz. Like, he needs to just accept that.
I know that KUNT is a not uncommon first name for men in Turkey.
Oh, wow.
So I can't imagine that's easy for those immigrants.
You hear that, all you turkey cunts?
Oh, dear.
That was a shout-out from you, right?
I'm
from Mr.
sure it's
Fares.
Kunt.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
My mistake. I misread the words. And
As
new
in the great
releases-
Turkish actor Kunt Tuldar.
Who am I kidding? The biggest release this week.
Oh, yes! Oh, man. I have missed Are You Ready for Some Football?
Hank Williams the Sixth. NCAA.
Up to that already?
Yeah, NCAA Double One is out this week. I think it's a little early. It's
Double
July.
A F double O B A double L double one.
Wow, that was pretty good. Yeah. That's it.
Which I don't know much about footballs, but my understanding has always been that NCAA football is always kind of regarded as the better football game compared to the Madden games.
It's
got the heart.
I think NFL has. And this is
Like,
I'm
this
talking,
is like Madden's the blockbuster, and this is the little art house release.
Yeah.
basically.
well,
It's got 111%.
Speaking as
art house football.
a non-sports fan. You can correct me, Michael, because I know you love this gay shit called sports.
Ew.
Do I?
You love this shit called sports.
I like cars, but that isn't the same thing as sports.
Oh, I see what you're saying. That's
Isn't it, though?
That's Optimus.
Those are motorsports.
Isn't it?
I wish the cars could play football.
There's got to be a game somewhere that's about cars
There
playing
really
football.
should be. We tried to do it one year with sunroofs and bottle rockets. It was one of the most fun experiences I've ever had, until the driver got one in the crotch.
Yeah.
I forgot what we were talking about.
NCAA football?
NCAA football. It was
That's
my,
coincidentally
it's
why
my
you forgot what you were
understanding
talking about.
that the NFL had been kind of neutered in a certain fashion by a couple of rules that the NCAA college football doesn't follow, which makes it more interesting, and you get younger, technically better athletes before they're spoiled by contracts. Maybe I don't know. I know there's like a
Holy fuck.
There's a gator in there somewhere.
Yeah.
NCAA. Clearly, we weren't ready.
We have a review up for this game.
Uh-oh.
Rich Grisham. Yeah, he's the
that guy is
guy.
amazing.
Yes.
The amount of enthusiasm he has for every sports game is just wonderful to watch. So I'm not used to. I love passion with people in anything. That's why I love working next to Henry. Hearing about what Crisis on Infinite Earth.
God,
hear about
Henry
that
started-
for like an hour.
we started talking about The Flash
Awesome.
today, and
Just
it was,
sit back and listen to him. And I didn't have the
enlightening.
tolerance for sports until I read Richard Grisham's articles on our site, which are always
he did give
so
it
fucking deep.
Yeah.
He knows his shit, and he can write really well.
He gave it a 9. He says you'll love exquisite on-field action. The Dynasty Wire is sweet. It's a great soap opera for you.
I never have any idea what he's talking about.
Recruiting is actually fun. You'll hate. I'm assuming this isn't a pun, but oh my goodness, maddeningly slow menus. No real Road to Glory updates. Multi-icon play select is gone.
He can say whatever he wants. You'll love no poaching.
Yep.
You'll love fart bricks.
Fart bricks.
It stands for something. Football area retribution tactics.
Thank you.
I'd like to say, if there's anybody out there aspiring to be a games journalist and you have an ability to write it all, just be one of two things: a sports game lover or a girl, and you can get into this industry so easily.
Yeah, that's why I'm having a lot of trouble.
I know. Neither of those things.
Yeah, because every other games journalist is man hates sports games.
Grew up on it.
Yeah, you need if we're giving advice, be a JRPG person, because nobody in this office wants to spend 60 hours reviewing the latest game.
Well,
our limit is like 30 max.
Yeah.
Well, I played my fair share of JRPGs and tend to finish them. But
I know, but I know the people who really like reading those reviews want to read it from someone who's finished the game.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
So they can spoil it in the review.
That sucks. Occasionally that has to get freelanced out. Because it takes for goddamn ever.
Yep. It's like, you don't have much time on your hands. Here, take
Oh,
this
Carolyn
review.
actually just posted today the review for Arc Rise Fantasia.
Oh my goodness!
For Wii.
Let's not talk about that score. Anyway. Next week, hit children. Next week.
Next week.
Next week.
Don't sound so enthusiastic.
Stop it! Somebody could be listening. Evo, right? This is a sport we can get behind. You want to see televised, legitimized.
The Evo 2010 Street Fighter World Championships, which was not just Street Fighter, but it was over last Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I was riveted and watched the stream all 3 days. They live streamed on Evo 2K10/live or something.
That's something Seth Killian did before he was at Capcom.
Oh yeah,
all that shit set up.
Super, and like he wasn't in all of the stream stuff, but when he's on there and he does his play-by-play,
so fucking good.
He is excellent.
When you listen to him, you go, no. This. Why isn't this televised? Like he conveys the excitement, the expertise. He makes it seem like it's an important, like technically proficient, practice, skill-based.
He's funny.
And he's really good at it.
And he's so quick.
Oh, yeah.
We remember we were playing that Bionic Commando multiplayer contest, and I turned around. Are you really narrating this like that?
Yeah.
Holy shit, this is amazing.
Yeah, he's exceptional at it, and
he's one of the people who can talk technically about games and not be boring.
Yeah.
Like, that's an amazing thing to be able to do. Yeah. Like pick something apart and be like still entertaining.
And then some of the other guys, there's a very. They really like to get sidetracked and start talking about themselves or their relationships with other players. And it's kind of fun to get a window into their fighting game click, but it's also like, could you narrate the Tatsunoko match? Because I actually find this game interesting to watch, and I don't know what any of them are doing other than Baroque. But if you didn't watch, you really should have. But the Daigo Umehara, the Beast.
Yes, that was a 1-to-1 bet ratio. With all these
I think he's won the last 9,000.
Yes, over 9,000. Street Fighter
4 matches.
Yeah, Super Street Fighter 4, the champion.
Street Fighter 3, original Street Fighter. He was 2 years old at the time, and he won that.
And so he won that against what was his name?
Ricky Ortiz.
Northern
California's own.
Northern California, who is a teammate of Justin Wong, who was actually knocked out of the top 8 in a huge upset, which I was very surprised and excited to see. I think the first Taiwanese person to place in the top 8 of the Super Street Fighter of a Street Fighter tournament. On top of that, he was playing a Don, who was kind of written off as not a tournament level character, and just really surprised everyone. And I'm sure a degree of that was everyone's complete unfamiliarity with a Don. But it's interesting to see. His name was Gamerby, the gamer tag, and really surprising to see what happens next year. Like Justin Wong, who was able to defend his title repeatedly. Not defend his title. He never actually won,
but he always was.
He always placed, and it was always him and Daigo going back and forth. And now that his Rufus has kind of been just completely put in check,
I think it's a proliferation of Rufus because everybody that's such a huge tournament character. Now,
and it's like, well, look, Daigo's stuck with this Ryu for so long. Like someone's you're gonna have to do something else, and that's why I'm really excited. Also, this year was so much new blood. A lot of the people like Alex Valle and a lot of these names that you kind of know, like they weren't in that top 8, and it was really
so weird to hear.
It was really exciting.
It really sounds like a fucking sports recap, but I don't know anything.
It was so exciting, and even if you don't know the names and all this shit, you can just watch the last 2 hours of the matches because they separate them, so it's not all one long slog.
And there's an excitement in the room.
That's what makes it entertaining to watch, even if you don't really like it. Is that you can hear all these people screaming and reacting and gasping, and it's just you sort of get into it no matter what's happening.
You don't have to like sporting events or anything like that. You don't have to like Street Fighter. You have to like games.
I bet it'll be the last broadcast sporting event not ruined by vuvuzelas at this point. Seriously, everybody hates them, but they're cheap and they're going to be in everything from here on out.
People are going to bring them just to be ironic.
Yep.
Yeah, probably. But I mean,
I believe there was actually a thing that said if you had one in Evo, you would be banned from the floor for the entire weekend.
That's so nice.
Yeah, I mean, all you gotta do is just watch. So you can feel the energy in the room. And if you like games at all, it's the most legitimate you'll ever think of competitive video games. Like it's, I don't know. It really makes me wish there were video game seasons. This is the Street Fighter season. This is some kind of FPS season. This is an RTS season. And get people who can actually call it like that, and you would get a base of excitement.
You said G4 is going to broadcast.
G4, yeah. This is actually kind of amusing.
I just think that's what they should have been doing all along.
They should have broadcast the whole goddamn thing, because what was G4 airing Saturday afternoon?
Cops!
Fucking
blind date.
Just bullshit. They should have aired the whole goddamn thing. Maybe not the whole thing, because obviously they don't want to blow their whole programming schedule, but they should have at least been airing the Street Fighter finals the last 2 hours. What would that have cost them? Sunday night programming? Boo fucking who. But, so the very end of the show, the last 2 hours of Sunday night are the Super Street Fighter 4 World Finals, which is, Seth comes out and you're like, oh man, this is going to be great. Adam Sessler was the second commentator, and normally it's Seth and 2 other people, and there's, they all comment and trade information, whatever, and call different things. But Adam Sessler got up there because G4 was sponsoring part of the event, and they are airing a special. I think on the 20th or 22nd, G4 is actually airing kind of an Evo wrap-up thing, or probably what they shot while they were there. They're editing it now, I guess. So definitely watch that if you have cable. I do not, so I will never see this. But because they did that, Adam Sessler got to be in the finals, commenting on it, and it's already a very pedestrian level of commentary for Street Fighter. But next to Seth, it just made him sound so basic. Like, Seth would do all this in-depth stuff. And I don't expect Adam Sessler to know the ins and outs of that by any means. Mm-hmm. But, like, it would be like Seth going, this, all relevant, all extremely pertinent. And if you're watching, you know exactly what I said and why it's important and what it has to do with this match.
Right.
And then Adam Seth would be like...
So Adon's a new character, right?
So this guy's new? No, he's been around for a while. Well, he does have more life now, so...
Yeah.
Well, he's in the lead, but that could change at any minute.
Oh, fireball.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Looks like he's really trying to kick him to death out there on the floor.
And then he'd get confused about the rules, like, so he has to win this next one, and that's it, huh?
It literally seemed like he was primed, like, maybe 20 minutes before he was going to do the commentary.
And I mean,
which is
that's not his fault necessarily.
Yeah,
it's more of a producer's... when I was a producer, it was my job to make sure that the anchors knew what to do and say, and that they had the information. But he also has been reviewing games for 10 years or whatever. I was just really surprised. I mean, it makes sense. It's a perfect synergy.
The level of depth it takes to talk about Street Fighter at that level.
Especially
I know Street Fighter, I know the characters, and I know the moves. I could never, ever, in a million years.
I thought I was hardcore until you guys started getting into it, and now I have no confidence in my ability to judge 2D fighting games anymore.
Me and Keen were talking about we were watching it live at the same time, and it was funny because if you go back and look at the Seth and Adam Sessler banter, literally the only thing that Seth says to Adam Sessler's comments are, "That's right, indeed, that's correct." That's it.
Typical sportscasting, those. Right you are, Adam.
Right you are.
Yeah, but then it's usually, right you are. This the last time we saw it, like, they always go into some other trivial detail, which they can do in these Evo tournaments. Like, well, the last time these two met up was in Seasons Beatings back in December, and they...
one of the cool things too, I think I think I kind of overlooked because it was so late, was that this other so the live stream was like Team Spooky or whatever. They did this thing where it was basically the players were doing money matches in this suite in Caesar's Palace where they were all just sort of gambling, playing, for cash or whatever.
Yeah,
and it was all the tournament players.
They're all drinking and they're all betting $100 a match, and and they're live streaming it. So it's like I thought I was already done watching the stream. I was about to go to bed, and then someone tweeted at me like, "Oh, hey, more matches are coming on." I'm like, "Whoa." And then I look, and oh my god, every one of these is costing somebody money!
It was pretty great. Yeah, they had Yipes, who did the sort of legendary Marvel Baby video with curly mustache. He was doing the commentary on it, and Daigo showed up like at 4 a.m. or whatever, and he told like anybody in the room that he'd like money match him for a minimum $100 a match. And people were throwing in like $500-$600 a match just to play him, and they all got beat.
There was the thing that they were doing the stream in the first place. It wasn't $100 a match, but at first it was a tournament where like a winner took a pool. Everyone was a an entry fee, and then the winner got some. And
I think GamerBee won that.
Did he really?
Yeah.
God, I was really hoping the finals would be GamerBee and Vangief. Like, I really wanted something interesting. Nobody cares about this. It's so amazing.
But worth watching.
But yeah, it's totally worth watching. Like next year, I'm really going to try to be there, and I'm actually going to try to get Future involved in some way. I don't know what, but I really want to really represent and be there.
Throw your hat in the commentating.
It's a super fucking cool thing. I'd be a great commentator using words like "cool thing."
Cool thing.
That was the best.
That was neat.
But no, oh man, it's at Caesar's Palace every year, and it's always in July. So keep it in mind for next year. Like, just really ton of fun to watch. Even if you don't care about Street Fighter, just the fucking electric excitement around that thing is contagious. What else?
We have Comic-Con coming up.
Comic-Con is next week. We'll be there.
And and Capcom is announcing a couple things that they've teased.
Yeah, they're teasing. They're just teasing. I think something is happening.
Well, I thought it was a fighter, and I thought they were saying.
Well,
that
the thing is, Yoshi Ono, who's kind of the brains behind Street Fighter, said that the thing he was going to announce was so bigger or so much more interesting than Super Street Fighter 4. Yeah. And the prevailing wisdom is that that's going to come up at Comic-Con. I think he tweeted that, hopefully I can mention it to you next Saturday.
Yeah, he got up on stage at Evo and just teased and teased and really annoyed everyone because he just didn't say anything. He's like, something big's coming.
So what is it? Is it Power Stone or
Darkstalkers?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I did ask about Darkstalkers, at Captivate. It wasn't Ono because it was the guy in charge of MVC3, and he was like, you know, and I mentioned this before, like back in April, but he was like, yeah, well, obviously we know people are interested in Darkstalkers, but
really.
Well, yeah, they.
Well, look at Morgan. She single-handedly held that franchise
Yeah.
for a decade.
Yeah.
But it's like
a vampire with tits. I'm in.
She's a succubus. Dimitri's a vampire.
There you go. Wikipars. It happens.
Yeah.
First day back, already corrected. But like, I mean, it's not like a huge draw though. That's why I don't think it'll be Darkstalkers, because Darkstalkers does not and never did have that pull. Like, it was a popular-ish fighting game, but it was never a Street Fighter level thing. So I don't think it's going to be Darkstalkers, because at the interview he was saying, like, you know, for us to decide something like that, we want to see how Super Street Fighter 4 sells, and we want to see how MVC3 is received.
I can't believe there hasn't been some kind of Power Stone update, especially for like the Wii.
Yeah, Power Stone, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Power Stone. That seems like a likely thing, because people do have fond memories of that, and there were only two. And
ridiculously fond
We'll
memories
be
of it.
caught completely off guard, and we'll be tech romancers, too.
Oh, man.
Tech romancers, too.
Rival schools.
Rival schools.
I mean, I'm also just
What we're
assuming
doing
it.
for Rival Schools 3.
The second to last Bronx, maybe.
The next Bronx over. I just assume it has to be a fighting game because that's his area.
Yeah.
But what
Love
it could be?
Plus.
Yeah. What it could be that's on the level of Street Fighter, I don't even know. Like what?
Yeah. It seems like it's just PR overstatement, but I
it
don't
has
know.
to be.
There's
But I mean, apparently next Saturday is the Capcom Street Fighter panel next Saturday at noon.
That's right. It's Breath of Fire.
Oh my
it's
god!
back.
Which I'm supposed to be in that panel. Like, I'm supposed to attend it, not talking in it, but I'm really trying to be there so I can at least hear what they're saying.
I will not. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. What's happening at Comic-Con. I hope there's more Arkham Asylum 2 details.
Oh, there could be.
See the thing about the URLs?
Yeah.
URLs that
They
I had to fucking write, even though I had to get all my information from Charlie and Henry. I'm like, you guys, why am I writing this?
Yeah.
I've never heard of Batman No Man's Land,
That's-
a comic series where Gotham gets hit by an earthquake and the city basically turns into martial law.
I'm surprised you haven't heard of it.
Arkham Asylum is basically Gotham City reduced to a third world
I
country.
hadn't heard of it until Charlie wrote about it.
Yeah.
Really?
No, it was from like 99 or something like that.
It was. I mean, it was later, but I mean, like, to me, it was always like Dark Knight Returns, and then as far as like, there's Nightfall where he got his back broken by Bane, and then the next one down the list to me was No Man's Land. I mean, I didn't even read it until last year.
Yeah, Charlie said that. Like, I don't
But
even
it's
know
really
why
popular.
I read that one too, but
I'd
I
never
picked that
heard
up a
of it.
long time ago. And so Warner Brothers
I have both
Interactive-
volumes if you want to read them.
I do actually.
They're good. They're really good.
Warner Brothers Interactive bought a bunch of domains with the subheading of what there was: Broken Ground, Earthquake, Siege on Gotham, New Arkham. There was New Arkham and then New Arkham City.
New Arkham City.
And then Stop Mayor Sharp, which in No Man's Land, Warden Sharp is now the mayor, and is basically semi-responsible for the new Arkham Asylum. And that's all we know. The teaser trailer just shows a bunch of Arkham criminals running wild in Gotham. I don't know. I was fascinated by it. I hope there's more of that. I guess they're going to reveal the Shattered Dimensions universe in Spider-Man.
Yes, I'll actually have an article going up about that sometime during Comic-Con.
Oh my God! Are you saying you know what it is?
I totally know what it is.
Oh no!
And yeah.
Is it exactly what you think it is? What everybody thinks it is?
It's weird. It's like it's an obvious. It's almost like an obvious choice, but then given how far they have to reach, it's not entirely obvious that they would go there. And then even when it's there, it's still not what you think it's going to be. So I was pleasantly surprised. But it's embargoed till next week, where I will write something about it.
Spider-Man armor.
That's actually in the regular universe.
Oh. Cool. I'm going to load these sound effects, and yeah, this is probably irresponsible to even bring up because I didn't read the article.
True.
But I saw a bunch of people writing about how GameStop doesn't want to sell used games, but they had to do it to stay in practice. They had to be competitive with the marketplace because Best Buy and Walmart can drop the prices over the live-long day.
Right.
And that's GameStop's only business.
Yeah.
So they had to find some way to compete. And someone on Twitter was like sort of yelling at me like, "Why are you against used people who buy used games?" I'm like, I'm not against that at all.
Yeah.
I wanted to be clear on that.
I gave this a lot of thought, and I don't have any problem with selling used games. I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, but the game industry needs our money. You know, to a certain degree I am that, but what it comes down to is I don't like the feeling that I'm being screwed.
Yes.
And I always feel like that if I'm buying something, less than maybe 6 months to a year after release used at GameStop, because it's always like, well, new it's $59.99, used it's $54.99.
Yeah, they can just go right to hell with that.
And you know that they paid $20 for it.
Oh, yeah, that's
more than 100% profit.
For me, that's more important. The fact that like some kid comes in there and trades in something he loves just to get something else he thinks he's going to love, and they give him $20 and then charge someone else $55. That sucks.
When we were there last week, I was trying to buy one of the new 360s, and the kid in front of me was selling back like 3 games or something. It was like Skate 2 and a wrestling game and something else. There were 3 PS3 games, and then his dad didn't speak English. They were a Japanese guy. And his dad was like, what's going on? How long is this going to take? Because the guy at the register was like, you're going to get less because all these discs are scratched. And so his dad's like trying to get up in his face, like, what? Why
you scratch these discs?
Why you scratch these discs?
Why you scratch the discs?
Like, I didn't hear English at all from him. His son was like trying to relate it back to. He was like, he said they're scratched. I don't know. But then they got $6. I heard them say,
like, why bother?
I heard him say $6. I'm like, and he's like, do you want that on a card or do you want the credit? I'm like, what if I fucking put you in the face? Like, how's that for an answer?
Yeah,
like,
do you want
$6?
Would you care for your memories or $6 towards towards Web of Shadows?
I don't know. Like,
it's hard for me to be mad at them though, because it's just like you do have lots of other options. There's eBay. There's all these other things. I mean, it's more effort, yeah, but I mean that's why they charge.
I know, but
what they do.
as a kid who's a gamer, and like that sort of was the only currency I had.
Yeah.
And I do resent them taking advantage of that, because there's a lot of shit I wish I had now that I can't get.
Well, there was independent game stores back when we were children. That's such a bizarre concept.
Those fucked me over.
Really?
Yeah. That's the thing. That was my first taste of, a new game is not worth the same as a used game, and so if you want that copy of Battletoads Battle Maniacs, you're gonna have to turn in Contra 3 and Wing Commander for the Super Nintendo.
Well, Wing Commander.
Did you give Micro Opara's Never?
I wish I had.
Oh, no.
Wing Commander for Super NES I had a lot of fun with.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, some people survived the Holocaust. So
Good
what do I say about that?
I mean, I felt pretty bad about it, but, I did feel like I was taken advantage of for my feelings.
Yeah, it's not that I love David Jaffe's comment. Like, that's not for gamers to worry about. That's something for publishers and developers. That's our problem. And it's not for me. It was just that fucking kids are getting screwed all the time. I hate the fact that I sold some of the shit I did.
Yeah.
I saw Christian complaining like Jumping Flash, which I got through like a fucking terrible trade-in at Electronics Boutique that I got screwed over, and he downloaded the new Jumping Flashes on PSN and were complaining that the music wasn't correct.
Oh man, I'd be pissed.
Yeah,
I love the music.
I would be livid.
I love the music, Jumping Flash.
And I fucking traded that game in for a pittance just so I could play Die Hard Arcade. And it's not a decision. It's not a decision I appreciate at all. I really wish I hadn't done that.
Die Hard Arcade or Die Hard Trilogy?
Die Hard Arcade.
I guess
Trilogy's great.
I'm not quite as connected to having the physical disc, I guess. Like, once I've played a game and I've enjoyed it, that memory's in my head.
I can see how that's
I
true.
want to get to that point.
But there's something about, like, and this only comes from, like, when I go home and I unearth something. And then it becomes like, oh, it's so special. And
I just had a whole week of that.
I took a stack, like, a couple weeks ago, I took a stack of, like, 98 CDs to Amoeba to trade in. And every one of them that I was like, I'm going to get it down to one small box and just keep the really important CDs that mean something or have some kind of connection. And then every one of these stupid CDs I had over the last almost 20 years, I'm like, I could rationalize almost every one of them for some dumbass reason. And then I'm like, has to go away. Who knows when I might want to listen to Moby Play again and want the actual disc. Like,
you can go to any record store and buy it for a quarter.
Exactly. I'm like, just put them in the fucking box.
Just dump a blues album to Fruity Loops and you have Moby's Play.
I love that CD.
Oh, Lordy.
Travel so far.
There's a good Amoeba story, too. This weekend I actually went there in the U section. They had literally, I think, every single long box PlayStation 1 game in their used game section.
Whoa.
Someone had traded those in, and they were all going for like $1.99, which means that they probably got 10 cents each.
You bought all of them, right?
No. I just declared that I'm not, that into the physical copies of it, but it's like Jumping Flash, like, PO'd and, loaded, and I'm just like,
Like that's the kind of shit. I go to the thrift stores and like I see Genesis games and they're Genesis boxes and like I need this.
That's
I
cool.
love this. I love this. I love this stupid black and white checker shit.
Oh,
the diminished box art.
That's when I lost it
Snappy.
because for some reason when I moved at some point, I had all my Genesis games still in those big cases, and I made that decision like, as long as I have the game, it doesn't matter. Those things take up too much space. So I threw away all those cases, but I kept all the cartridges.
Oh, that sucks.
And then like literally like a week later, like, what the fuck would I do this for? And now that's what that has spurred. Like now I'm afraid I'm going to regret everything I throw away.
Did I ever tell you what I did when I was really obsessed with my NES? It first came out, and I had like 12 games.
Right.
I cut the front off of every box so I could make a deck of cards out of the boxes.
Oh my god!
So it's like, and then when I feel like I don't know what to play, I'll just throw a card on the table, and then I'll play that. Do you want Bump and Jump of Ghostbusters? And then
between those two,
all those toys,
Bump and Jump.
all those. They still exist. They're still in my house, and I just threw away the rest of the box.
Wow.
Like, I feel like a fucking moron. So I go to the arts and crafts fairs, and I'm just going to give away my business idea because I can't do it. But every time I go to one of these arts and crafts fairs in the city, someone's selling a $20 journal that's made out of the album cover of an old, not one you like,
right?
But an old vinyl album cover.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
You go and dig up whatever the fuck Atari buried in Texas and make a journal out of that. Holy shit! You could charge more for journals depending on what the game box was.
Right.
Bunch of plastic shards with cement chunks stuck in them.
That might not be what it is. Maybe they survived.
That's the official record.
You can take all those long box PlayStation games and sell them as clutches or purses to people.
Did you see the picture I tweeted like last week and the week before when I was cleaning out all these boxes that my parents brought? Like I forgot that I used to keep every box to every Nintendo game I got, and then when I threw them all away, I still kept the RPGs. So I found in this box were all the boxes to Final Fantasy II, Final Fantasy III, Chrono Trigger, Mario RPG. And then you get an N64. Link to the Past was in there. Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Ogre Battle 64,
American Gladiator.
No, like all these boxes, and I look at some of them. Like my Final Fantasy II box for Super Nintendo is immaculate, and I'm like, I was 11 years old when I got that game, and like I was thinking of it then, like this must stay perfect. I love this game too much. Chrono Trigger, I think, got stepped on or something, so it's not looking so hot.
You know what, my only one was one. My friend just called me. He's like, I left town. Like, I don't know if I ever told that. Like, I was in Tallahassee, and like my friend died. I'm graduating college. I'm like, I just have to get the fuck out of here. I don't know where, and I just kept driving until I came here. And
so you always wanted to do this?
So, no, I did, but I didn't think anybody would accept me. But I gave him a box of 400 Nintendo games, and he's like, he's moving.
All right.
And this is Spicules. He's been on the show. Sorry,
he's
Spicules. He's like, dude, I went and dug out those games. You kept them in immaculate condition because like whenever I got one, I did the fucking Q-tip.
Oh yes.
And put them in a box, and like they all look like shit on my standard definition television. And all the stuff you talk about Mega Man, none of them are here. I'm like, those are the ones I took. Those are the ones I took here, and that was the one box. Like I don't even remember having the foresight not to cut up Mega Man 2. I was so obsessed with it that I kept the styrofoam at the bottom.
Yeah,
and I have everything.
Speaking of game boxes, this actually dovetails nicely into some sad news that I have.
Oh no!
Because I had a really cool prize that involved game boxes. So PAX is soon, and they announced all the panels already, what they accepted. And I had pitched I sent 3 panels to them. One was Ask a Games Journalist, which will be someone from Radar, someone from OXM, someone from PTOM, and someone from PC Gamer, just kind of fielding questions from the audience about games journalism, games industry. That one, definitely happening. It's on the Sunday of PAX, so if you want to, if you're going to PAX, I mean, we'll be at PAX regardless, but I mean, that panel is happening. The other 2 I pitched did not get accepted, one of which, TalkRadar Live. Not fucking happening. They totally didn't accept it, which is hilarious to me. And then the second,
what did they accept?
The Ask a Games Journalist one.
Oh.
And then the second one they did not accept, which was, and this one I really can't believe because there's cred all over this fucking thing. You have to wipe it off to even see what it is anymore. I thought it was a really good joke. Neither one of you fuckers laughed. I saw him laughing.
Sorry.
So, yeah, you got to pay attention, man. Got to participate. The other one was that video game music name that tune contest, where I was going to They didn't accept that, but it was with the Overclock guys. I spent weeks getting in touch with those guys and orchestrating this thing. They were like, let's do it. We're down. Let's go. We'll go do a fucking video game quiz with Overclocked. Overclocked Remix. No, that didn't get accepted. And when I was home in May, I went to a pawn shop, and I found a fuckload of NES games still in the box. Some clearly was a collector who knew what he was doing and took care of this shit. So I bought for $10, and these were going to be some of the prizes for that game music quiz. Were going to be the NES game in its fucking box. You just get the game in the box. Wizards and Warriors was one of them.
Beautiful.
Silver Surfer was the other one. And I forgot what the third one is, actually. Solstice. And the thing is, those all three have excellent, excellent music. Two of them are actually from Tim Fallon, and one of them is from David Wise. Wizards and Warriors. Those are going to be 3 prizes I was going to give away at that panel. But it's not happening now. So I've got 3 games in the box that no one's ever going to get. Until PAX gives the okay to do this panel.
I don't think I give it... I don't get to participate in the panel now. No. I don't have to go now. This is awesome.
I'm so irritated at that. It's such bullshit to me.
It was a bummer.
And then my friend, Creative Assassin, while I was home, we went over to Toys R Us, the old one where I used to haunt. We went to the shrink wrapping machine, resealed the games.
I love that idea.
Back in plastic, so they look like they're brand new. And I wasn't going to pass them off as new, but you could probably pass them off.
Look, I have a wrapped copy of Mega Man 9 press kit on my shelf, and it looks awesome.
No, I at this point I'm just going to bring them in and put them on my desk. Like I still want to give them away, but not until I can find
I'm going to try and do that too.
An adequate way to give them away.
We'll hold on to them.
But they're so cool.
This is another out-of-print thing. Wait, hold on. I may need Language Parez to read this guy's username on Twitter, because I'm afraid to. Asian.
Reiki Genocido.
Reiki Genocido. He sent me just as like, here, I'm sending you something, and it was an out-of-print DVD for something that came out months ago, and I just wanted to see it. It's Disney bullshit. No one cares. Starring the guy from The Prisoners, Scarecrow of Romney Marsh, original terrorist. Fantastic. It's worth like $300, and I want to be ethical and send it back, but I can't get it anywhere. I can't see it. So the value of holding on to your shit, I really want to encourage people to hold on to their shit, not go to GameSpot. And so to give back, and Elson isn't having his contest, I'm giving away a sub-pristine box set of DVDs. I'm moving. Guys, Planet of the Apes.
You're kind of moving.
What?
All of which I believe were watched by Games Radar editors.
Yes.
It was. There you go.
I watched...
Now it's a prize.
Oh, no. This is the standard def.
We watched the Blu-rays, Michael.
No. This is the older set, but it's out of print. It's out of print. In the box, I don't know, the box, I have some weird, bizarre attachment to it. I love it. I love the way the boxes look, especially the redesigned covers of like the turn of the century.
There was an edition of that came in a Dr. Zayas head.
Yes. I did not get that.
That was always.
It's not that one, but I want to give it away, and I don't know how. So here's how you enter to win my. I think it's worth like $40. Planet of the Apes box set, every movie, including the fantastic documentary Behind the Planet of the Apes, hosted by Roddy McDowell, also known as Caesar, and. What? All right, everybody's looking down now. Impress me.
With Planet of the Apes?
Yeah, this is unofficial. Like, this is my shit. I don't have to have any legal rules. Like, find me on Twitter at Cientista, put something in the forums, put something on my Facebook. You know the drill. Person who impresses me the most with desperation, art, a plea, the niceness of a request will get a Planet of the Apes box set.
What comes in that Planet of the Apes box set, Chris?
I already said all this.
Did you? The 5 movies?
Planet of the Apes, Beneath the Planet of the Apes, Escape from the Planet of the Apes, Conquest for the Planet of the Apes, Battle for the Planet of the Apes, and Behind the Planet of the Apes. An entire feature-length documentary hosted by Roddy McDowell, encompassing the entire theory.
Planet of the Apes HD remix.
No. There's no HD remix. That is only on the Blu-ray box set. And but also on the DVDs, there's plenty of trailers and commentaries. And featuring interviews with people who have since passed.
This is what you brought on.
We've lost Kim Hunter, Roddy McDowell, and Charlton Heston since these things have been filmed. So it's.
These are commentaries that can't be repeated.
So it's nice. No, must move on. Must move on. Do another segment. Third segment, we're going to announce the winners of the Persona contest, game deals, some nice stuff said by you, and phone calls?
Phone calls.
Phone calls?
Question of the week.
Phone calls already.
Hi, this is Ryan McCaffrey from the official Xbox magazine's KOXM Radio. You're listening to TalkRadar.
And they got huge new zones! Yeah! Twice as big as Sonic 2! Yeah! Then have the 3D special stage! Yeah! Do it!
New Sonic 3 is now available at a store near you.
Sega!
New Sonic 3 game cartridge and Sega Genesis sold separately.
I'd buy that for $1.
All right, I was an idiot and forgot to read the Persona winners for Tyler's contest, so Tyler Nagata is going to do the honors and read the winners of the Persona Game and Hat contest.
Okay, so the 3 grand prize winners are going to get 1 free copy of Persona 3 Portable for the PSP. So congratulations to Darkfire55, Chainsaw Hacksaw, and DMZ65.
But what of the hats, Tyler?
Well, 5 runner-ups are going to get 1 free Junpei hat, and actually, Atlas was kind enough to send me a bonus hat too, so actually we've got 6 winners for hats. We've got Kit07, Kane Strider, Squallgate, Commando DS, Weird Jedi, and Pello Un, you get my bonus hat. So congratulations and thank you everyone for entering. I'm going to try to arrange some kind of surprise each Saturday from now on.
Hear that? Check your PMs, you knuckleheads. Congratulations.
Hey, does anybody want to listen to the rest of this motherfucking podcast? Yeah!
Dad in Vietnam?
No. Well,
Battlefield?
He claims that he was a Vietnam veteran, but it turns out he was stationed in Germany the whole time getting shit-faced. So there you go.
Boy, man.
That's so weird how that can happen. Like, with that war going on and people already in the service, it's like, well, I don't think the Nazis are going to sprout up again while this is going on.
Just in case.
Just in case. We need you here.
Should I not be broadcasting this?
No,
yeah, well, you just stay here. We'll draft a few dozen more college kids.
We'll tell them.
Scar an entire generation for life.
All right, TalkRadar segment 3 coming in with
the fun of Vietnam.
With the fun of Vietnam. Well, everybody knows. Rock band this week. It's the Vines and a band whose name I like, but didn't like their song, Sweet Billy Pilgrim.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, Billy Pilgrim is unstuck in time. No one wants to follow me in this Kurt Vonnegut. No.
I haven't read whatever book that is.
Slaughterhouse 5.
Oh, okay.
It's on my list.
Forced
10th
to
grade.
Haven't read it. Relive the events of his life and non-chronological.
He was a porn star and an alien holding cell, right?
No. Should I just go into game deals? Game deals it is. Game deals it is.
Do as I say, save a little money for a rainy day.
Yeah, you fuckwads. It's time for game deals. I see that GameStop may be having a buy two get one free used sale this week. Speaking of our previous rant, whatever, it's a sale. Take advantage of it. I won't judge. Still, I think 12-month Xbox Live subscription cards are at Walmart and Amazon for $34 from someone who just paid $60. That's pretty good.
That always happens, though, really.
I know.
I did the exact same thing.
Oh! What was this? Free Amazon Prime for a year for college students.
That's absolutely right.
Is the only thing required an .edu?
That is all you need. You get a .edu email address, and if you have access, they instantly send you a thing, and you just click on it, and you automatically have a free year of Prime.
It's free year of Prime, which I don't know if it entails anything other than 2-day shipping on everything you order.
Yeah, it's free, I think, 2-day shipping, and then, I think if you want overnight, it's like $3 per item. And it's regardless of size or anything, so... Yeah.
Henry has it, and he's our Amazon guru.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I'll post that picture on the page. That guy has a problem. Holy shit.
But yeah, if you'd like to cripple your, local businesses and retailers and refuse to pay tax to the government, Amazon is a great way for you to purchase things.
Bringing it back to our anger over the dumb release week of the last couple months, and this week in particular, Split Second. Great game at Costco. $30 PS360.
Wow. Wasn't Blur 20 the other week?
Blur is 30. Blur is 30 at Toys R Us, guaranteed. Also at Costco, though, Okami and Little King's Story for $14.99. Two great games on the Wii that most people ignore. And Skate 3 is $20 at Walmart.
Really?
Yeah.
Not a big upgrade from Skate 2, I might say.
On 360.
Yeah, well, a fun game.
360. Brett's laughing. Should we get it at Game Deals? There we go.
Take my advice.
What?
I say, save a little money for a rainy day.
What are you buying?
Yeah.
Who's the one with all the bad luck?
No one.
But Donald Duck.
Who never shows a bit of temperament.
God, I love that song.
What a wonderful man.
Are we in the community segment now?
We are in the community segment.
I happened to log into the forums before we got to the question of the week, and I saw there's a thread called Elstonisms. That's just just a bunch of quotes, and I was lolling at the thing of I'm playing the DS with a stylus in my butt, and then like you guys go off running with that joke and make it even worse than that, and then I say, and then my mom walks in and sees all of this. I don't know. That made me laugh.
That was a funny story.
Thank you to Clustershot for starting the thread so I can remember it being funny.
Oh, Clustershot. I like our users who like us.
I love our users who like us. So that makes me more interactive.
You'll notice I singled a couple of you out. Yes, I'm looking at you, Romination. Who seem to hate us. I did have some quotes of positivity with some stories. I thought this was cool. This is from my username is longer than Chris Antisa's penis.
Is that true? If you click the link and...
I don't know. We do have 620 width now.
I guess
it
depends on the font size.
And yeah, my dick is 7 3/4 inches.
How many pixels?
Soft.
How many pixels is that though?
How many pixels?
And what's the resolution? This is important.
720p?
I can't think of 720 penis. There you go. Couldn't think of a good joke there. Thank you, Grim.
Sure.
Hey, Chris. Love the podcast and have been a listener since TDar 7. After listening to last week's podcast, when you read a few stories about people PM'd you about them using TDar to get through their hard times, I thought I'd send you mine. I was in a pretty bad car crash a while ago. The day after the crash, I was taken to the hospital where I soon started to feel extremely sick and was throwing up constantly. I also have a rare blood disease called hemophilia.
Wow.
Yeah, does everyone know what that is?
Yeah, of course.
It's where it makes my blood not clot, so I never stop bleeding. Long story short, the doctors thought I had a small fracture in my skull, and I was bleeding into my brain. I have to get an injection to make my blood clot, but since the accident happened when I was away from home and I didn't have the medicine with me, and since the disease is very rare and has to be special ordered for hospitals to get it, see where this is going.
Right.
So basically, they thought I was going to die, or at least get some kind of brain damage because I had been bleeding nonstop for almost 24 hours, and it would take a day or two to get the medicine. This is the part I want to drive home about. This is like this guy is waiting to die or get brain damage.
Did you feel yours?
I don't know. I don't think any of us will be in that situation where like we have. I need the antidote.
Right. Yeah. Time is of the
essence.
Tissue.
They took X-rays and brain scans to check out how bad it had gotten and to predict how bad it would get. This all happened the day TDar 103 was posted. While waiting for the results to come back and see if I was slowly dying or not, I listened to it. It was hilarious as usual and really helped take my mind off of everything. Well, that and the painkillers. But it was mostly you guys. To everyone's surprise, the results came back. The damage was fairly minor. All the blood had formed a large clot, a large knot, a little bigger than the size of a golf ball in my forehead.
Oh my god!
Which is really goddamn painful, but luckily not life-threatening. After a few days in the hospital, I was released, and life went back to normal. Well, as normal as it can get for me. Oh, boo-hoo. My username is longer than Dick Tista. Dick Tista. I just want to say thank you for the years of entertainment. I hope you enjoyed my super story. And probably won't ever forget. And you probably won't ever read of how TalkRadar helped me to not freak the fuck out when 3 doctors told me I was going to die a slow and painful death.
Oh my god.
Jesus. Yeah.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah, it really does.
We also have
in a true, almost unrelatable sense, where I'm like, that just sounds awful.
I like positive notes.
Remember, kids, don't listen to what doctors tell you because they don't know shit.
Exactly. Christian Science.
That's right.
Doctors
Power
and
of prayer.
science.
He has a plan.
Doctors and scientists, motherfucking liars, getting me pissed.
They got those book smarts, but they don't have those
I got
life
just
smarts.
One more quick one from Funk Soul Brother. Chris, I just wanted to give you my deep thanks towards TalkRadar. The highlight of my Friday is being able to listen to the people I almost feel I know, even though I've started listening in episode 100, which I can't imagine.
Oh my god.
I'm happy you guys take the time out of your lives to record the best podcast I've ever heard. Better than... Boo, he censored it, so I don't know what he's talking about. I don't want to say it's because I don't want to say it because I don't want to bring you guys down. They're just okay.
Okay.
Once again, you got to thank for adding a little spark to my life with humor, extra spark of humor to my dull and humorless life. Thank you, Funk Soul Brother.
If you could all
check
tell,
it out now.
Yeah, I know. Every time I hear that, I'm like, check it out. That's one of the CDs I traded in, actually. Fat Boy Slim.
Well, we had a question of the week last week.
If you could all tell 5 of your friends to download the podcast,
oh
every
please,
week, that would be real great.
Like a chain letter. Do it on Facebook
yeah.
or do it on MySpace. It's appropriate there. Spread the word through MySpace. Last week. What was our question of the week? Your fondest summer
memory.
I don't even remember if we were
shattered.
gaming specific, but
it was like a game. It was supposed to be like a game summer thing. Like we all had one last week. Grim, you weren't here last week. Do you have a summer memory a game that really sticks out in your mind? Lost a summer vacation to you?
I don't think it was quite summer. It was more spring break, but it's my favorite, shameful gaming story. I was playing Final Fantasy XI when it had came out
that is
on my
terrible.
56K internet connection dial-up when I was living in Northern California before I moved to the city. And I lost my entire spring break to Final Fantasy XI in an effort to get my Chocobo license, which is a license you need in the game to ride a Chocobo.
Oh my god.
And that's the biggest waste of a spring break I ever had in my life.
Yeah, the amount of effort needed to get that fucking license is one of the main reasons I stopped playing that game after like a month.
That game, here's what you had to do. I was a small teddy bear creature in that game because I like taking the fruitiest thing possible in any video game I play.
Sure.
And
that explains Vega.
That explains Vega and the big oily man Hakan and Zangief, who was literally gay. And
yes, he is totally gay.
Yes, but the point in that I thought was great was that you were forced as a level, I can't remember, 15, 16 character, to traverse an area that was filled with nothing but level 40 bad guys who would automatically kill you so that you could get to the hub city where you could get your license. So you essentially had to walk through a minefield and get murdered over and over again. And let me note, in that game, when you die, you lose experience. So you de-level when you get killed. So basically, you're forced to run a gauntlet where you're getting basically sodomized the entire time and de-leveling so that you can make it to the town and get your license.
What about de-leveling was like, that's a good idea. People will want to keep playing when that happens. It's not demoralizing at all.
That was the idea.
That's one of the reasons I'm not looking forward to Final Fantasy XIV.
I don't know how many lessons they could have learned, but if they make the opposite game, that would be a good idea.
If they make the opposite game, I might actually play that. And you get a Chocobo right away.
It's fun. You don't de-level.
You can do cool shit off the bat. You don't have to spend 10 hours killing rabbits.
Yeah, they have this idea like, no, it has to be a build-up to the abilities. Some of them, yes, but not mobilization. I want to move around fast. It doesn't feel like a reward. It feels like a punishment.
Yeah.
But you do, as a whole, your time in Final Fantasy XI.
I don't really have any kind of fond memories of it. I was talking to my little brother about it. The amount of hours I put into that and the amount of actual memories I have from it are non-existent. Like, I can remember, I think, the Chocobo thing, and the rest of it's just kind of a blur.
Can you sum it up into one sentence?
One sentence. I am a teddy bear getting beaten up by large monsters. Yeah, that's...
big... Do you even get that music when you level up?
No, absolutely not. You get a little sound effect.
All right.
Actually, no, I'm sorry. You do. You get a little... It's not the full song. It's the bare minimum of that song is awarded to you when you level up.
I love the Final Fantasy Online games. I've gone on record for saying that.
Oh, one of them?
All of them.
Okay.
11, 14. 14 especially.
Oh, yeah.
I'm incredibly excited about it. Let's move on.
There's 10 people listening right now that are so excited.
Here's one. Oh, hold on. Let me traverse back. I did see. You can argue with me on this. That iNetVideo.com, a Canadian site, was selling Watchmen: The Complete Experience, which includes the Blu-ray, the movies, the Dark Freighter, and both of the DLC games.
Right.
For $14.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I'd pay $14 for that.
It's a Canadian site, and usually their shit comes with a little bit of French. I don't want to scare. If some of you conservatives are still listening, I know Bill O'Reilly still ordered a boycott on everything French. I don't think he ever called that off.
It's just ongoing.
Yes.
Oh, the Freedom Fries thing?
Yes. Then if you're already lining up for the Battle of the War on Christmas, maybe it's not the time. You know, we asked our users last week the favorite summertime memory. I love this one because a lot of people said, so many people said Halo 3, and then so many people said San Andreas. And like I was an adult, and the only other person in the world I showed me playing San Andreas to was my father, who was visiting my house. And like, oh, you got to see this! Is a Tom Petty song on the radio. You like that, right? Like somehow that would like convert him to liking San Andreas. Executioner said the one that really stands out to me was San Andreas. 2 of my friends came over and we played the game for a whole night on the PS2. What we found is that San Andreas has this quasi multiplayer mode, which I never even got to play.
I remember that.
Yeah,
because you had to like go to a certain spot and have a second controller plugged in, including a person. Which no matter how long it took you to get to this spot, what we found is that San Andreas, where one player plays as CJ and the other plays as a pedestrian. It was a little lame though because the players were essentially tethered together by an invisible piece of rope. So if you got caught, if you got in a car, the other person had to get in or be dragged. What he would do, though, is the one person would get a parachute and the other person would get a bicycle and go to the highest mountain, which I think was called Whetstone. I remember Whetstone.
Mount Chiliad? It's like the huge mountain.
I think Whetstone may have been the area it was in.
Maybe.
Whetstone or something like that. And we would jump off the mountains, and because the player was tethered, both players were thrown into oblivion. The person in the parachute would hold up the person on the bike. Meanwhile, the person on the bike would do several flips. This, as teenagers, was endlessly entertaining.
Oh, yeah.
There was nothing like watching the game spaz out like that.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I would love to see a YouTube video of that.
That's like, I found this, my friends and I were playing Crackdown 2 over the weekend, and there's all these, like, freak holes in the wall that, like, the freaks keep pouring out of. And we found if you run into them, the game just like freaks out and ejects you back out as a ragdoll immediately. So it's like an agent projectile launcher.
Does it hurt?
No, it doesn't hurt you at all. But it's like if you can angle your jump and get a bunch of speed in, it shoots you out like kind of proportionate.
You'd probably get an achievement by doing like 9 flips or something like that.
Yeah, and it's like we would just run in and just look like you're running into a giant yellow gaping butthole. And then you just run in, and we just watch each other get launched across the map. It was pretty fun.
That would be the summer I bought Final Fantasy X.
Ooh.
I bought it immediately after school ended on my way home, and I proceeded to lock myself away from the scorching sunlight in a small dark room. I live in a small street, I'm guessing in England. She says the word mum.
Yep.
And I could actually hear my friends playing football outside. Actually having a life while I was relentlessly trying to grind my party the whole summer.
Huh?
I can't imagine that. I never, like, just in America, we never lived that close to people. I do now.
Yeah, I mean, definitely when growing up, even when 10 came out, my nearest neighbor was so far away. But I mean,
I can hear everyone in my apartment. Like, we all know we can hear each other fuck, and we just never.
It's unspoken.
We never mention it. We never mention it. I love it. It's fantastic.
It is, but I literally never think of that until someone brings it up, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Someone like I was just at a party. I'm like, hey man, you guys were banging pretty hard last night, and it's like, what? No, the ceiling. You were banging on the ceiling or the wall, and everybody's standing around like you're never supposed to mention that.
Yeah.
It's great too because I think in a lot of contexts that's your only interaction with your neighbors. Like I have a neighbor I never talk to. We see each other in the hallway. The only thing you've ever heard from me or talked to me or done anything about is to hear those noises.
To hear those noises, the most intimate situation I could ever be in.
Exactly.
You're a part of this!
You don't know my name, but I think of you when I'm
start doing that. Just
can't do it if you're not here.
Just start yelling obscene, like, knowing things, like, while it's going on.
I would love to just...
Hey, Sanjay, you hearing this?
I would love to just film him and, like...
Don't mention this tonight later.
Give him a text message. Hey! What's up? You home? Yeah, and, like, instantly.
Guess what?
And then, like,
just yell, I am
2.5 minutes later. Dude, thanks. Couldn't have done it without you. Man, that was a vile fart. I don't know if that picked up on mine.
We need a fifth mic that's just by your ass.
I know. L Pork says, I lived 60 miles away from all my friends. So summer was always a giant amalgam of road trips one way or another. This is L Pork, baby, one of our Star PC Engine?
Yep.
PC Engine. And it just happened to be the 4th of July weekend during a big drought up in the middle of nowhere farmland. And the warning of no fireworks or you could start a wildfire were not believed by our teenage ears. And I have been guilty of that too, droughts in Florida. Turns out, if you're not careful with your illegal bottle rockets, you can set 26 acres of dry corn land on fire with flames multiple stories high.
Wow.
Granted, that was also the week my friends had come up to visit with their systems, and after the massive blaze, all we were allowed to do for a week was sit inside and play Tekken 4, GTA Vice City, Super Smash Bros. Melee for 2 weeks straight, because he was not allowed to go outside after the grounding.
That is a fantastic punishment, though, my dad.
Yeah,
exactly. I know. When I Jesus Christ.
Oh, his last note was, "We totally fucking got Mewtwo."
I would hope so after all
Attaboy.
that. God damn, when I got sent home from school in like 6th grade, one of many times with my, Jesus Christ, what was I on? Ritalin-addled brain. No, I can't do anything. I can literally sit and stare at a wall, and then I had to work and do things and clean things, and it's like, no. Going to your room is no longer a punishment because you just play games the whole time.
Did your mom not work?
No, both my parents worked. Dude, I could run for office. It'd be sweet. Truck driver and a teacher. You can mark.
Wow.
You can do that any state of the union, motherfucker.
Brett is one of you guys.
I'm one of you. Do you understand? I know what it's like.
He knows what it's like.
The troubles of growing up.
The
money situation. The dishwasher broke. I can't get any games that month. The dishwasher broke.
I hear that.
I went to 6 high schools because I was kicked out of a lot of them. And one of the weirder high schools I went to, I was there for a year. I'm not in the yearbook, but I won an award at the end of the yearbook for most suspended. That's the lively school. That's the only mention of me in the yearbook. I won that award after they expelled me. and I had to hear about the award. But that time it was like right at 16, 17, where like my parents like, fuck it, we're not staying home every time this happens.
Right.
It's like suspended, like, you were told you couldn't go off campus for lunch. Well, I did. Suspended! Okay.
Now I'm going to go off campus all day.
Okay. Yeah. Fine. I was only trying to get away anyway. Thank you.
Yeah, I love that idea of the punishment for leaving school is to leave school. It's like, do you understand the point of school? I don't think you do.
Yeah, I remember when it first happened, when I first got suspended, I hid in the woods. I was so afraid of dealing with my parents. And then I snuck in the house through a tree and crawled up to my room and like did that, God, no cell phones, that thing where you call the phone, you call your own home number, and you hang up, and you wait until it stops ringing, and I waited for my parents to answer. Hey, where are you? Are you guys mad at me? I don't want to I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Just tell us where you are. And I'm upstairs.
The sound of feet running upstairs.
Oh my God! And then around the 20th time, it was great. It's like, no, I'll walk the dogs. It'll be fine. Summertime memories. SGH341. I remember the summer I got The Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess for the GameCube.
Jesus Christ!
It was my first Zelda game.
It was 3 years ago.
Hold on. I spent over 150 hours in the land of Hyrule, most of it either fishing or riding Epona through the world.
That's crazy.
I only really got into gaming about 7 years ago. And I was never a big Nintendo fan. After experiencing the epic adventure of... This is his first Zelda game.
No, yeah, I can understand that.
Was this Wii or GameCube?
I rushed out.
The GameCube version, I believe, is superior because it doesn't have that shitty waggle.
Yeah.
He's left-handed.
It's also more... it's also rarer, I think.
It's...
you can get some money for that.
Yeah, they're worth more because they printed fewer, and by that time the GameCube was dead anyway.
Maybe not a whole lot more, judging by eBay right now, where they're going for around $24.
At one point they were over 100, but they kind of got flooded at some point.
Yeah.
And after that, he went and ran out and played Wind Waker, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask.
That
Beat
sounds
them
like
all and loved them all.
That's impressive.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds like a lovely time.
A
I
weird
swear.
story. Like I've
no,
never heard from anybody.
that is weird to think of Twilight Princess as the first, and then working backwards. But no, I love Twilight Princess. I beat it at I beat it around 45 hours, and then I played it for another 5, collecting all the bugs and stuff. So I put 50 hours in. 150 is amazing to me.
I love that he made it a point. He just fished and rode a pony. Like,
That's
if you've
really
never done that before, I don't know if any game that really let you ride a horse around like that, like Red Dead Redemption.
Like Shadow of the Colossus.
This game called World
This
of
is before that.
Warcraft.
No.
Yeah, and how
That's
long
a
you have
mount.
to go before you get a mount?
Level 40?
40?
Yeah.
30 or 40? Yeah.
That can be achieved in like a week.
Yeah, at this point.
I'll do it before I go to bed.
Assuming you don't sleep, eat, or piss. Just the Bowbreaker. Oh, this is tying in well. Just the Bowbreaker. Last summer, I really got into Call of Duty World at War, CODWA, multiplayer. And instead of leaving the game for a minute, I started peeing in empty water bottles. I was a borderline zombie for about 2 weeks, and I would continually forget to bring the piss bottles upstairs to throw them out. So my mom came downstairs one day to find me surrounded by about 12 yellow water bottles, and my eyes completely bloodshot from the nonstop gaming. My mom almost threw up, and my parents discussed seriously whether or not I had to see a therapist.
Wow.
Turns out I wasn't addicted. I was just a lazy dumbass. Wow. Way to take responsibility. No.
No, yeah, seriously.
Some people sue.
If you can
just
recognize.
the Bowbreaker didn't.
I do like that the piss bottle analogy, though, because, I mean, you always hear that for MMO players, and the poop sock analogy is the other one.
Whoa! Just two words that don't need to go together.
Poop sock?
Poop sock.
Poop sock?
That's the term. I've heard the term used for poop sock, which is similar to pissing in a bottle, but instead you shit into a sock so that you don't break the ring.
Socks are porous. That shit could get out.
That's not your
It's
concern.
not like-
Ragnaros
yeah,
has
like
to go
shitting-
down. Your guild has goals to meet.
Shitting into a Ziploc, I can kind of see.
And it sounds really fun. What just happened?
Every week we're in here recording, and the cleaning crew comes by at this point when we're drunk and talking, and literally they were in the room next to us when we're talking about the shit sock, and I saw them in the reflection of the window walk by and do a triple take, like
Poop
looking
sock.
back and like, what? And he like shakes his head.
It's a confusing term.
Like, what the fuck?
I've been affectionately using that term to refer to my girlfriend's breasts for a long time.
I wonder how long it's going to take before we have a forum user named Poop Sock.
I bet by the end
Get it
of,
while you can.
by the end of Friday, if it's not happening, I'm going to be sad.
Get it while you can. When I get to the new users, maybe we should start being a little more staunch in what people are allowed to name themselves. Who is this? Woody Woodrow and the Pan Flute of Destiny. He wrote, well, 2 years ago, I met a homeless dude named Eric the Red who lives under a bridge behind KFC. We befriended him and even helped him build a new camp after the cops kicked him out of his old one on an old military firing range. I knew some college friends who were engineering students, and they built him a teepee out of trees in a local area, parentheses, God, I wish I could show you the pics, because he said, he prefaced this originally like I wanted to protect people's names. When finished, we proceeded to drink heavily and talk about Morrowind for 5 hours. Did anybody do the Hey Mister thing, like have the bombs to buy them beer?
Yeah, of course.
Mine was Bam Bam. He's dead. He's dead. Bam Bam is dead.
No, I didn't.
No?
I never did, no.
Do you remember your bum's name?
I didn't have a specific bum. I did do the shoulder tapping. I didn't have a individual.
I
So
remember
you were
it
a
was
bum bum.
Another guy who he was like almost dressed normal, except that he was dressed exactly like Popeye. Like he looked like a sailor who just got who's on shore leave
From the 30s?
in a landlocked city in
Bell-bottom
the
trousers.
1930s.
The sailor hat in Kansas.
Will I buy you beer? Of course not. Well, I'm 18. Well, then, of course, if you're old enough to die for your country...
There you go.
This is John Lovitz?
Yeah, see? That's a ticket.
You know what I think about the drinking age? It stinks.
It stinks. All right. This is Woody Woodrow and the Pan Flute of Destiny story. I hijacked it. That winter, Eric's cousin, Frank, came to stay with him. Frank gets a crazy check from the government and used the money to buy them an apartment. One day, Frank was bored and drunk, so he decided to go to local Best Buy and buy $1,000 worth of Wii games and accessories, parentheses, your tax dollars at work, half of which were double.
Oh, what?
That's like the stoner buying a bag, like, tons of food, but then buying games like that?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't think I picked up Cake Mania yet.
This
Put another one in there.
So Frank had two huge piles of identical Wii games in his apartment, yet they still used a cooler to keep the beer cold because there was no refrigerator. I just love the idea of that. I know. I don't know. I know. Not only do I know homeless people, I know I could go back into town. Like, if I go back into town 2 years from now, people I grew up with and hung out with and had fun with will be the homeless people, and would spend that money irresponsibly.
You don't get homeless by being responsible.
No. Well, yeah, that's what I think. It's almost like a flippant, well, fuck you. I don't care about that. I'm going to have the most fun I can.
Absolutely.
Using whatever I have. And I admire that. Be homeless, kids. The Wolfen, during the summer of 2005, my parents forced me to go down to visit my family in the most video game friendly place in the country, Alabama.
Really?
So instead, Alabama. So instead of spending time with my family, I took the NES, my great aunt.
Yeah, the idea of a great aunt is
great
so
aunt
cool.
with an NES had in storage and played 2 games. Castlevania 1.
Excellent.
Silver Surfer. For 2 months. The experience was both very traumatizing and at the same time really fun.
I will tell you, that guy probably has a very good appreciation of the music in Silver Surfer if it doesn't make him go into rage fits every time he hears it.
It's really good. And the last one I'll read.
I have the game sealed. Maybe somebody wants it, but you'll never get it because fuck-ass PAX.
Okay, well, you have to look at it. Like, PAX looks at us like the way a lot of the internet looks at, like we're just...
Scum?
No, soullessly corporate. Because we're owned by Future.
No. Tons of other podcasts have it. The Destructoid has one there.
No, I think.
Yeah, but I think that
they look at us as soullessly corporate because we supposedly write top 10 best vixens in games,
and that's all we ever do.
Yeah,
Dude,
of course.
Fine, I'll do it tomorrow. If I'm gonna be in trouble for doing it, I'm gonna do it.
Would you like to see what the traffic report said about the certain boob articles that were posted?
No, we're not supposed to talk about that.
I don't know.
Our competitors might get ideas.
Look. When a friend thinks I fucked his girlfriend and I'm in trouble for it, like I did it, might as well just fuck his girlfriend. Because he already thinks I did it.
I'm just going to say, if our competitors get wind of the fact that articles with tits in them tend to traffic 300 times more than every other article on the site...
Thing is, it's not even that. There's a finesse to it.
Yeah,
there's a finesse. Because you
true.
can't just put tits in there willy-nilly.
You can't.
It doesn't work.
The Google image search will do you better.
Yeah.
I feel terrible right now.
No, I did that thing a year ago.
Don't take our tits from us, other sites.
I counted.
No, we need our tits.
I counted the percentage of boob-related articles we posted. It's literally like, what, 1% of the shit we posted in 4 years?
Great. The only people who actually say that are people who haven't looked at the site.
Right.
And I still love PAX. It's a wonderful... it's a fucking brilliant thing, and I love it, and I'll still have fun there. I'm just really kind of bummed. I'm really, really surprised.
But I really think it's because, like, Destructoid, like, they started up, made their own way.
There's all kinds of official shit there. Like, it's
like
not
what?
that. Like, every game
well,
company
I think
is
PAX
there.
is trying to give... PAX is about giving everybody their say, so it looks like this corporate entity...
There's a
wants to
ton
come
of corporate panels.
Are there?
From Activision, from Capcom, from fucking everybody who makes money just by being there.
I'm trying to look out for PAX, I guess, if you want to call them jerks.
They're not jerks.
Go on record.
They're
doing
not jerks.
so.
They are not jerks. I mean, I understand there's physically only so much space, but I was really hoping for that TalkRadar podcast.
Last summer memory I'll read is from Reborn Kusabi. Mine would be the summer of '99. I was 12, and I just found my stepfather's sex movie stash.
Yeah,
for exploration.
So brilliant. That was a glorious day.
And after some
story,
I remember when I found my my dad had a Playboy.
Can you finish his story first?
Okay. And after some,
we keep interrupting him.
After some private time, I was suddenly struck with
masturbation.
With a need. I was suddenly struck with a need. That need was that I still haven't played the Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, so I decided to give it a try. So I finished up and popped the game into my N64 and played it. What came to pass is that I played the game. I played that damn game the entire week, while taking short breaks to watch my stepfather's sex movies. and it's gone on to be one of the best games I've ever played in my entire life.
I love that he calls them.
There are associated
Oh
memories.
man, I love the sex scenes in Zelda.
I love that he calls them sex movies.
The sex movies.
It's like a. Have you watched the sex movies?
Wait, we
Very nice. We make the sex
Come here,
movie.
go watch our fuck flicks.
It's like an.
Hey, what's the matter with you? Go watch the sex movie.
Hey, you thought you my sex movie? I break your face.
It's like a Middle Eastern Italian.
Yeah, but Mr. Cucarabanza mess around with my sex movies. This sex movie has the fattest pussy. Don't play the ocarina of time. My assholes are the biggest and the juiciest. Come around and put it
down to the
I
opponent
try to
and pick
make
up
a
a
joke
porno.
and you completely destroy it.
I have a POV films. You can go in and pretend it's your own gabagool. What's it?
Wow.
And Zelda.
And I've gone on to become addicted to sex movies as well. So now when I think of Ocarina of Time, I think of the phrase "amazing and timeless game" and "eat my dick."
Wow. That needs to be a new character.
I don't think it was supposed to be Dick.
Dick?
Because
it's 4 asterisks.
Oh, is it 4? Okay.
Yeah, so I can think it has to be either Dean Koontz,
Right.
or Puss, which I don't care
Puss.
for.
Nobody says that.
How about Twat? What was the one we found in the Rock Band censoring?
Twant.
Twant. Eat
Could just be shit. His stepdad could be incredibly kinky.
Eat my twant. Eat my. Come out to the back. Don't go out to the back of the restaurant. There's 2 dogs eating twant into the face of meat.
Wow.
What does it mean to eat twant?
Eat the twant.
2 dogs eating twant.
The Indians use every part of the twant. So
We use only the finest cut of the twant.
Our twin is cascaged for 50 years.
Oh dear.
We only take the finest of the ones.
To once.
Or to once.
Oh god.
Oh my goodness.
Well, we
New
really,
users.
we always find a way to make this podcast last almost 3 hours.
Yep.
Even when we were way on
This
time.
is the short one so far. New users:
Yeah, we'll
Gigaton, X Punch, Anju, and Cafe. No one wants to correct me. No one knows who those characters. All right. J. Por Favor, Santa Claus, 37, Blood Fart. I'm surprised that took that long.
Yeah, a little bit.
When I got here, I applied for this job, and then I forgot that my MySpace name was Blood Fart 3D. That was
why 3D?
Because if you look currently on my MySpace page,
You were ahead of your time because it's a really big thing now.
on my MySpace page. My favorite movies are all movies with horrific rape scenes, and the last couple are just ones I made up in a series called Mad Dog Rape Mongers. and there's the Great Vagina Annex, and followed by Blood Fart 3D. And I just changed my name to that. I can't believe I applied for this job. I walked in here the first week, and everybody's like, "Blood Fart." Why is it in 3D? It's a joke like 4 people will get.
God.
New users. Hit on Lizzie, went home with Antista. Using my Italian accent, we don't have to bleep it. Fagatoni, a new user. T-Dubs, Chuck Bartowski, Tastiest Jam. I am a robot who turns into a truck, and I find no levity in this. That's a great username. And Bilbo T. Baggins. Wonderful.
Wow.
Wonderful. What do we have a new question of the week?
Yes, the question of the week this week was, I should have briefed you guys on it before, but...
Oh, my.
There's no particular relation to anything that we talked about yet, but, thinking of things that would have good audio to go with them, we were talking about what's like a commercial, a video game commercial from your childhood, or at least younger than you are now. Mm-hmm. Let's say at least 5 years or something. Just some commercial from your when you were a kid that really stuck with you. Like to this day, you remember it, and you remember a tagline or something like that.
Yeah, basically, I think we all really liked the way the '80s cartoon theme songs came, and I'd love a chance to play these things, and not even all the commercial, but there's always, for me, I have lines that stand out in the commercials. There's
The Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening in the fucking parking garage. That was Zelda from the very start. And,
yes.
like, that's always stuck in my head. I
know the whole. I get the whole lyrics to that thing.
Mario Land 2.
Oh yeah.
Obey me, Wadi. And he had like spit trickles in his mouth, and it always sticks with me.
Yeah.
And the last one, which I think I couldn't find, was Super Mario RPG Quest for the 7 Stars, and it's like, and it ends with the 7 stars.
That guy yells it,
and it echoes, and it zooms out, and it's. Every time I hear anybody say a number of stars, that thing goes off in my head.
7 stars. The one that like pops in my mind immediately is as a little kid, I remember seeing the commercial for Mario 2, and the announcer goes, "Super Mario is back," and it's like, as it is like, you know what, a 7-year-old, I'm like, Mario. Like, am I correcting you, marketing guy? Mario, for fuck's sake, it's the moneymaker.
You've never seen him before because you've never had the opportunity.
Because you never had the balls.
And then after that, geez, I remember I have a memory of like probably 9 years old or something, maybe 9 or 10, sitting at the kitchen table, and we had this really tiny TV in the kitchen.
Oh, yes.
They got like 4 channels, and I remember watching TV. Well, it was just on, and then in the Metroid 2 Game Boy commercial came on.
Oh yeah.
And it's this like a series of like yellow balls or something that make a face because it's supposed to be monochrome like the Game Boy.
Is it using the Metroid music though?
I don't remember. I don't remember the music at all. I just remember this voice going like this, and then at the end it's Metroid 2 Return of Samus. That, and then moving up a little bit newer is the Yoshi's Island commercial, actually. Because
wow.
We talked about that earlier in the top 7. It's the guy. It's this huge guy, and they're talking about all the stuff we crammed into this crazy game, and it's this guy eating and eating and eating at his diner until he blows up, and shoots all this green shit at the camera, and it's during the Play It Loud, motherfucker, like that fake edgy shit they used to compete with Sega, and this really fell on their face with it. But those 3 really stick out to me. The mics,
either mic,
M&M's.
For me, it's a toss up. There's the original Zelda commercial pre Zelda rap.
Oh, the
which
levers.
Is Hawk Rocks Tights. That guy in the black leotard with the Kramer hair.
Thinking back on that guy is like such a wannabe like drama theater. Like I majored in this. Like
I may be wrong, but I seem to remember he does like the Max Headroom thing where he's like levers. Christ.
God, what a dumb fucking commercial advertised like at the beginning of a multi-million-dollar franchise.
Yeah, and then not the Metroid 2 commercial, but the Kool-Aid contest commercial that featured Metroid 2. And at the very end of it, there's like these 2 kids on the bus, and like hold up their Game Boys, and there's a flash, and then there's them running through a grocery store finding these coupons, and then they're back on the bus, and now there's like this cardboard cutout of Samus standing behind them with just like its head swiveling from side to side,
and it's waving
really creepy.
It's like waving at you or something.
Yeah, something like that. It's just eerie, but it sticks out in my mind.
Yeah, the idea of seeing Samus on a school bus is definitely hard to forget.
Yeah. Kind of hard to swallow.
I'm surprised there's not a band, Samus on a school bus.
They'll at least have a username.
Hopefully.
Mikey Frem.
It's kind of a funny question because I really don't have hardly any recollection of like television video game ads whatsoever. Like I just remember reading lots of ads in Nintendo Power and Game Pro and just magazines and stuff. But like you talk about these ads and I have absolutely no recollection of any of them whatsoever.
Wow, really?
I don't remember any television spots. I mean,
how about the awful Game Boy Pocket ads with that weird like rabbits, plumbers, live, die.
Oh, yeah.
The only one I can think of that
pocket, stick it in your pocket.
God, Nintendo's advertising was so bad.
Well, I think they literally tried everything.
They tried everything.
Yeah. The only thing I think of off the top of my head that I saw, I mean, I didn't even see it like at the time. I saw it on YouTube afterwards with the Japanese ads for God Hand because those were great. It was some muscle man with a fist for a head just walking around like beating people up. I recommend you YouTube those because they're great. But that's
might have to. Maybe we'll embed that in the TalkRadar 110 page.
Also remember the Sega CD ad with Ice. I think it was Ice Cube, and he like ends it with like, "What are you waiting for? Nintendo to come out with one?" I remember like turning to my sister and saying, "They are."
And I'm sure she was like reading about like, "I'm sure they are, Mike.
Yeah,
I'm sure they are."
She was probably like 8 at the time.
Yeah.
Well, that's our question. What's a video game advertisement?
Yeah, from your youth.
That's your youth. That you can't shake. I have phone calls here, and I loaded up some other ones from your folder.
Okay, then they're all good. Be sure to read the dates from them.
I have some new ones. This is from June, the end of June, so only like 2 weeks ago. We did play that one.
Are you sure you loaded the new ones?
There's only one folder.
Yeah, that's true.
I have a couple new ones.
I mean, I deleted all the ones.
This is Tommy, or Blood Muffins. I just had a couple questions for you. First, I was wondering, like, if there's ever a moment in a game that not necessarily made you cry, but really hit you on like a real kind of deep emotional level. And second, I was wondering the game that most pleasantly surprised you, like one that you thought was going to be shit, or that you didn't really know what to expect with, but that you played and really liked. So yeah, thanks. Bye.
In the interest of time,
you can only answer one question, everybody.
Let's do the first one. The crying thing, nothing made me cry, but I for whatever reason I teared up pretty strong at the BioShock ending, which I know is like a contentious, like a 1-minute ending to a game that's that deep and that long. But something about that,
it's kind of perfect.
I love the ending to death, and just like, I don't know, when all their hands come together and they touch his hand. You never.
It's like the Raising Arizona ending. Which
Yeah,
is my favorite endings ever.
It really got to me. I could feel it coming. I'm like, if it had gone on any longer and they elaborated, I probably would have cried. But something about just what they did was just beautiful to me, and it wasn't a sadness thing. It was just like, God damn it, that's so good. Like it was that kind of thing.
I was kind of taken aback to the point of breathing heavily by the end of Assassin's Creed 2.
Really?
I don't want to spoil it, but that last person talking in the direction of the camera, and you think it's just a stylistic choice, and Ezio's like, you need to do this, and like, I will do this. And, like, I'm not talking to you. She's talking through him and to you, like the player, and it's really fucking weird.
She's talking through him to Nolan
Desmond.
North's character.
You're Desmond. That's true. But I mean that's kind of the weird part about it, because it's a very scary woman. Like you don't really notice for 2 minutes of staring you in the eye while delivering exposition until she says, "I'm not talking to you, Ezio." It's fucking great. Like it really got to me. It gives you goosebumps just thinking about it. I wish I could describe it better. I don't want to ruin it, but I did. And somebody, I forget who it was. Somebody's really pissed at you guys for ruining the end of Red Dead Redemption.
I saw a couple people like right away were like, oh no, we warned, but then when I listened, it was a pretty abrupt warning. But I did then tweet both on mine and the Games Radar account, and I commented in the article.
Yeah, I edited that cast and I didn't listen.
Yeah,
I'm still playing.
Yeah, I definitely.
I just want to say I was against spoiling it, but
Mexico.
Brett and Charlie were like, "Oh fuck, let's spoil it." Everybody's played to that point.
It's because we were talking about the best games of the year, and I mean the ending is what that just sealed the deal for me.
True. Like, enough.
It's all right. Don't spoil it again.
I'm not going to. No. He's a robot. He's the first robot. Steam engine.
Is he
a robot elephant shooting a ball at you?
Yeah, all right. I knew it.
I basically cannot say the word robot.
No.
Robot elephant.
Mikey Grimm.
What, something that made me tear up instead?
Yeah.
That or the other question was a game that totally surprised you, did not expect to be good, and really was.
Well, I've already formulated an answer for the tear up.
Okay, so go for it.
It's going to have to go get an Earthbound, as much as I pimp that every time
wow,
I'm on this thing. But the ending of that game is really, really pretty, because you're fighting this guy. I'll spoil it for you, because what are we,
that
20 years now?
That final boss is weird as hell.
He's... and it's just, it's a scene where it's like he's this big and vulnerable, like, sort of personification of evil demon thing, and you can't hurt him. He's totally invulnerable, so you have to use this little prey move. And every time the girl uses this prey move, it pans back to all these characters you've met throughout the game and you had these little interactions with. And it just shows them sitting there and they get this little wave in their head where they think someone's trying to talk to them and they remember you. And they remember you and they sit there and they pray themselves for a little moment. They think of you and like send good thoughts your way. And then in every round of combat, it does that with everybody in the game. And they're just wandering around their daily business and they all stop to think of you. And then they all come together and overcome the evil at the end. I was pretty teared up at the end of that.
That's nice.
I need to play that game.
There's no better time than 20 years ago.
I think
15.
And for me, the one that comes to mind the most is Final Fantasy 4/2. The moment where
I will be able to weigh in on
you
this.
you awaken the giant of Babil,
Yeah.
and it starts stomping toward you, and it looks like the party's going to die. It's this really extremely dire moment. Rydia screams with the word "scream," and then all of a sudden there's like these explosions, and the giant starts to stagger back, and these tanks roll onto the scene, and in one of the tanks is fucking Yang, who was supposed to have died earlier in the game, and I think Sid is there too with a bunch of airships. And it's just this great moment where it's like, oh, your friends who you thought you'd lost just show up and start kicking ass, and it's like, wow, this is so great. And yeah, it didn't quite make me tear up, but it was it was an emotional moment.
I get teary at emotional moments like that. I don't get you can't make me sad enough to cry over your situation.
Well, no.
But if it's a cool enough situation like that, almost like a moment of triumph over everything, I'll fucking.
Yeah. And then there's that moment in Oddworld Stranger's Wrath where I think I've gotten into this before, where you're running across these battlements, and there's this big siege with all these little. Native American stand-ins, and they're like, "There he is, boys! Make him proud! Make him proud!" And it's just like, "Aw."
And they save you and themselves in the very same moment.
Yep.
Wonderful. I might have more phone calls.
Hey, TalkRadar, this is Getty Lee from Forms. Just want to know what you guys think
Getty
about
Lee?
the Supreme Court deciding to review the California law about the elite that makes it illegal to sell violent video games to minors. Love the show. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Well, one, I don't know shit about this. Two, none of those bills ever mean anything.
Yeah.
They don't. They never pass every House, every Senate, and because they're meaningless, and they're usually built on a platform for people to run for something.
Yeah, I don't know, Michael. You're the crime politics editor.
I was really focused on that, and then hearing that, I just realized it's like, oh, I stopped following that. I haven't heard anything about that since it was originally announced.
This week.
It was news this week?
Yeah, this is our most.
What
recent
happened?
phone call. I don't know. I didn't read because I don't care because it won't matter.
And the thing is, even
thanks for being helpful.
I feel
I
like
don't know.
As far as our thoughts on it, I don't know. I honestly, if it passes, who gives a shit? It doesn't matter.
Well, it doesn't.
It doesn't matter because technically those games are rated, and it's illegal to sell. I don't know, cigarettes.
They'll have to.
Yeah, but do you want the state to lump games in the same category as cigarettes and firearms, because that's kind of a tacit admission that games are genuinely dangerous to kids. They are harmful.
The thing is,
and we should treat them and regulate them and tax them as such.
Right. Well, they already tax them as it is, but I mean,
sales tax. But I mean, there's not a special video game tax.
Right.
Although, hundreds of those have been proposed and struck down as unconstitutional.
Cigarettes are now fucking 4/5 tax.
Yeah.
Right.
The thing is, there are people who want to lump it in with porn and with things that they can regulate, because then the government can exert more control, and various busybodies like Jack Thompson can exert more control over the content in video games, and it's a slippery slope issue.
It's a slippery slope, but at the same time, that same law has been in England for years, and nobody cares.
Yeah, but England also has legal restrictions on movies and other forms of media, so it's not that big a deal. They've been living with official government censorship for decades.
But I mean, in
our case, this would be singling out video games and saying, above all other forms of speech, video games are harmful.
Well, it's my understanding that the government in England hasn't really acted upon censoring a lot of the stuff.
I was going to say, I can't imagine their cut of Inglourious Bastards is different from our. I don't think they're doing anything.
It isn't because the last couple films they did, like Clockwork Orange, they fucking hated, and Straw Dogs,
right?
They've been released. They've all been released there now.
Right.
But
But there was a period where those were all outright banned.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
But that was England doesn't do that anymore. They show porn at night on television. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but our lawmakers haven't gotten that shit out of their system yet.
I just don't think it'll
they will
pass.
Totally try.
What they're going to have to do is define.
No, I don't think if the Supreme Court has a half a brain, it's going to pass this thing. But
no, what they will have. The only way they can do it is they'd have to define what's too violent.
Yeah, and then that's going to basically reshape the rating system as we know it. It won't any longer be a voluntary rating system. It would have to be a government ordered thing.
It won't. It won't
probably fall under the control of the FCC,
because just like the ESRB, those things are suspect to lobbyists and publishers. They'll never be able to find what's too violent, because Street Fighter, it's a game only about hitting.
and kicking.
Yeah.
It is technically a violent game through and through. Just because it doesn't show the result of the violence doesn't mean it's not violent.
The California law basically says anything that depicts violence against human beings is illegal for children to buy. For anyone under the age of 17. So that includes T-rated games, any E-rated games that don't show much violence.
We went this. I don't think it'll pass just because we went this. It's California, and we went this long without that happening to movies ever.
Yeah.
But the difference is
tried.
the difference is the people who make the laws now grew up with movies and think they're fine.
Right.
The people who are making laws now did not grow up with games and are like, oh, what's this Bloodstorm game?
I just can't really believe that in my art of art. There can't be that many old people willing to ban a medium.
I know. I can't imagine there is, and I have to assume enough of the fucking people who are sitting in the highest courts would be like, look, I don't like games. I don't get it, but that's stupid. You can't limit one form of speech because you don't get it.
High-level people in this office, well, don't do no mature games. What about Call of Duty? Oh, my kid plays that.
Yeah,
that's not a mature game.
It's like it's rated M forever.
And so all of a sudden, the California's gonna have to step in and say, no, Call of Duty isn't mature, but Grand Theft Auto is. That's not fair. Lawsuit.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just step out of this.
It'll be tied up for fucking ever. It'll never happen. But if it does, it'll be contested so much that it will effectively never exist.
Realistically, the doting grandma factor will always counter the
Well, soon, in the next 20 years, the doting grandmas will be the ones who grew up with fucking Pac-Man.
You know what? Look, I think we're going to have to organize a TalkRadar user forum mass killing. Like we're just going to have to go smother grandmothers in their sleep. Because they're voting too much and voting too wrong.
They don't have anything to do all day. Of course they're going to go to the ballots.
Exactly.
I got jobs and shit.
The thing is, though, this isn't a voter issue anymore. It's up to the Supreme Court to decide. And if they say that it is constitutional for California to place these kinds of prohibitions on the sale of video games, then it's going to be okay for every other state to do it too.
I know this isn't the same thing, and she's not Sandra Day O'Connor. Did you see her talk about games?
No, I haven't.
It was unbelievably level-headed.
Really?
I think they're awesome.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
And I don't think they cause violence in people.
No, I generally have a lot of faith in the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
But you never know. And I'm just saying. I'm not saying, oh God, they're going to ban all games.
No,
I'm just saying, if they rule that law is constitutional, this is what could happen.
The cool thing about the Supreme Court is that that's where the power fucking is. And no one wants to be the person like, am I about to ban an entire medium for an entire populace that's already regulated? Let me look at this clearly. No.
Yeah.
See, that's the clincher. As long as the Second Amendment still stands, I don't give a fuck whatever laws they pass. 'Cause I got my gun.
I got my gun.
Yeah.
I'll make my own rules.
All right, 2 more phone calls.
Hey, what's up, TalkRadar? This is Matt.
This guy's a party.
As Chizosaurus coming in your ear, pussy. And I just wanted to know what you guys hate. Because I hate it when I make a bet. Oh, my God. I make a bet with...
He's driving.
Shit. I make a bet with someone about a game or something. Let's say Flyers Devils. And the bet is for the game only, and then they're all like, "Oh my God, no! The bet is about the series, not the game." And
My battery's going dead. The answer is yes. One last phone call.
Hey, this is Johnny Applesperm from the forums, and I have to say, the Norwegian King of Names is literally the only force in the universe that can make me shit myself, piss myself, and throw up from laughing too hard. I have to say, thank you, but yes, fuck you. Those were some nice pants I ruined.
Thank you, Johnny.
Could the king perhaps rename him quickly?
Johnny Applesperm?
Yes. Based on the shitting and pissing of himself. I believe the sound effects are there, are they not?
No, they're not.
At the
wait,
bottom?
one is. Can anybody think of one? I'll give you the sound effect.
I don't know.
You may have something in mind. Go for it.
The king usually does this very well on the tip of his tongue.
I hereby dub you Brello pants. That's brown and yellow. The color of your underwear.
What about piss shittless?
Piss shittless! It is done. Themed. You take your place in the winner circle, Elston. He's one of the king's finest men. Let's go.
Next week?
Light teases. What are we doing next week?
I just posted a Final Fantasy Logos article that no one cares about.
I liked it.
It's lovely. We widened the column of the site, as you notice, and half of you love it and half of you hate it. But I guarantee soon you will all love it because the column allows you to put screenshots in it that are visible.
You know what I hate? More space. I
yeah,
hate it.
I love having bigger images.
Bigger
It's such-
images, reduce space for text.
and we can look at what you click on the site, like, and all that shit that was on the left that made the column narrow, no one clicked on. So no one can possibly miss that stuff because we saw the metrics and no one looked
a
at
giant bull of butt. You're wrong.
Yep. If you miss it, it's your own fault for not clicking.
Boom! I believe that Michael makes his own noise. For
And
that.
there's a new video player
He rolled
coming.
his
I
eyes.
promise.
Yes.
It's a terrible one we
Eventually,
have now.
yes, we realize this. We know it's shit. It's
in
been
fairness,
shit for years.
It's way better now. You can scrub. It's way prettier. Like, it's wider and prettier. I'm sorry. I hate that. I hate that fucking video player.
Oh, I hate it.
You know I hate that video player. It's better than it's ever been as of this week.
Maybe.
You can actually scrub. It doesn't reload things. It doesn't stall.
I cannot verify
it's insane.
this.
It's insane.
Speculation.
Michael, what are you doing next week, Hannan?
By the time this goes up, I will have written something about game references that show your age. It's a little poorly defined at this point, but should probably come together by the time you hear this. And then I'm doing a different thing next week that I forget, but we'll do. Something on Alan Wake and its similarity to another game. I know we've already done one like that, but this is different, I promise.
And I will be struggling to hang on to my position in this industry, Michael Grimm.
Expect cheats guides in a shockingly dry car article.
Oh my goodness. So I'm going to take us out with something I probably shouldn't be playing.
We're also going to be at Comic-Con next week.
We will be at Comic-Con
So if you're going, let us know, and we'll probably have some Comic-Con themed things
And I always
for
say,
you.
like, tweet us. Probably it's better if you tweet Elston or me or us personally.
Yeah, Brelston.
If you want to see something, ask.
Oh yeah,
we'll take you all the pictures you want.
We'll take a
ask
picture
the
of
people
it.
What they want to know.
We'll raid through the 80,000 people that make my life miserable there.
I've always wanted to do exactly what someone wants me to do.
Oh
in a
yeah,
second.
yeah. If you read
Twitter
about
helps
something
with that.
that's cool there, just tweet one of us. Hey, take a picture of the giant Wonder Woman.
I'm going to take us out because right in the Comic-Con spirit, it was a song leaked. Technically, I don't know if I should legally be playing it, but it's by Anamanaguchi, and it's for the new Scott Pilgrim vs. the World game. It's called Almost Winter, and it's one of the greatest things I've ever heard for one of the things I'm most anticipating this entire year.
Yes.
So Anamanaguchi brought us in. They're taking us out.
Oh, Elston.